The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Where do the Jets go post Aaron Rodgers? We'll check in with a Jets insider and get his thoughts, plus the latest on the coaching staff that has officially been finalized by Aaron Glenn. It's the Jake Asman Show. Nick Faria joins us. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I wanted this job. Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. And I'm ready for it. It's all about the Jets. This is bigger than me. I look forward to this. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go on a Wednesday. It's hump day. We're talking all things Jets. Before we get started, give us those milk thumbs, as our guy Green Bean would say. Hit the like button. And, of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click on that subscribe button. It helps the channel continue to grow and showcase the show to more and more Jet fans. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now in his weekly spot is a Super Bowl champion for the second time in 8 years, Jets reporter for Athlon Sports and noted Eagles fan, Nick Faria. Nick, congrats on being a world champion.
Thank you. It's a beautiful week. It's a beautiful life, and it will. And I will say this, Jets fans, it's hard right now. It will happen to you, and it is a feeling unlike anything you could possibly imagine.
You win a Super Bowl on Sunday. The Jets move on from their Super Bowl winning quarterback, who put together the best season a Jet quarterback has had in a decade. So it's a completely different opposite end of the spectrum with the team you're a fan of versus the team you cover.
I actually have to give the Jets a lot of credit, and I have to thank them because the build up to the big game, obviously the Aaron Rodgers stuff was dropping left and right. So I was pumping out articles left and right. I didn't really have time to sit and stew and freak out over the game. So I have to thank them for that. They helped me out with my stress levels. They helped me out with my heart rate. So that was very helpful. But yeah, so listen, the Aaron Rodgers decision has been made. And now it's just a matter of figuring out where exactly the team goes from here. What do they do in terms of moving on from the quarterback? Do they make him a post-June 1st cut? Do they make him a pre-June 1st cut? A lot of things still to come out, but the main decision of who's going to be the quarterback has been made. It will not be Aaron Rodgers.
Is it a mistake, in your opinion, to move on from Rodgers?
The way I see it is four-pronged. It's a four-pronged way. I said it on Twitter yesterday. Is Aaron Rodgers the best available quarterback for the New York Jets next year? Absolutely. Anyone who's telling you no, I think is not being genuine on who Aaron Rodgers is and what other quarterbacks are going to be available. If you're looking to win next season, Aaron Rodgers still gives you the best chance to win. But I will say, in that same breath, because both can be true, smart organizations, when you have a quarterback that is clearly on the decline for his career, he put up a great season for a New York Jets quarterback. But based on the intangibles, based on the metrics of what we've seen from Aaron Rodgers over the last 5-6 years, he's clearly on a decline. He's battling injuries. The accuracy isn't always there. The touch isn't always there. It's been inconsistent kind of roller coaster. If you're going to pay that quarterback or essentially push over the dead cap to 2026 and 2027, then you want to make sure that you have a guy that you can trust, that you feel you can build for the long term. Aaron Rodgers hasn't shown that. So in the same breath of saying that Aaron Rodgers is probably giving you the best chance to win in 2025, you also have to acknowledge that, in fairness, It's not smart for a team to push off these massive cap hits to 2026 and 2027 like they would have to do if they wanted to bring Rodgers back. So these are two different ways of thinking. Neither side is wrong. The question, and this goes to my third point, is who is the quarterback? Who will be the quarterback? What's the plan? And the reality is the Jets are not going to say this plan right away. We're in February 12th. The plan may not even be decided yet. They may have an inkling, an idea of what they want to do, but they're not going to do that right now. We're still very, very early in the process. So with all this being said, if the goal is to win and win as many games in 2025 as possible, then yes, you would want to have Aaron Rodgers. But if it's about building a sustained winner, which is what Aaron Glenn said in his introductory press conference, then yes, moving on from Rodgers does make sense, but you better make sure that you have a quarterback situation ready to go, and that's where the question is. Who is going to be the quarterback? Who does Aaron Glenn trust enough to feel he can win games in this league in year one with the roster they have without Aaron Rodgers there? We don't know that answer yet, and we're not going to know for another couple of weeks.
Who do you think ultimately made the decision on Aaron Rodgers, right? We know Woody Johnson said publicly that it will be decided by the next regime. So that's Darren Muji and, of course, Aaron Glenn. Do you believe that, though?
I do. And the reason why is because you heard Jordan Schultz and you heard Jay Glazer both mention it. This was a cap management decision. It was Aaron Glenn made the decision, and if we are to believe Diana Rossini, I know a lot of Jet fans go back and forth with this, but her comment of they wanted Aaron Rodgers off the Pat McAfee show. They wanted him in attendance for mandatory minicamp that he missed last year. All these other different things. They are bringing in a new offensive system, so they want their quarterback in as quickly as possible and as long as they possibly can. All of that's understandable. We all get that. But we've also seen through comments and through expectations that there's a new sheriff in town. It's not Woody Johnson calling the shots anymore. This is an Aaron Glenn-led team. And Aaron Glenn, as I said, wants a sustained winner. Sustained winner means I want to be in contention for a very long time and not have to be cap strung in year 2 and year 3 after I prove myself in year 1. They want to build this the right way. And again, I'm not saying that they're right to let Aaron Rodgers walk. That's not what I'm saying, because this is a gamble. You do not have the quarterback answer here. You don't know who it is, and you don't know if the guarantee's there that they're going to be successful. All this stuff is true. But this is clearly an Aaron Glenn decision because he wants a sustained winner, and you are not going to be able to get that if you have to pay a quarterback that's not going to be on your roster $60 million in dead cap.
When you look at the options, Nick, what to you are the best paths that they could go down? Like if you're trying to evaluate where you're going here, what would you personally do if you're Muji and Glenn going through your options?
If I was in this decision, and I'm going through the entire process, I believe that, and again, I would probably have kept Rodgers if I was in that boat, particularly because the salary cap is increasing every single year. And you look at Philadelphia, a team that just won the Super Bowl, a team that is paying massive dead cap charges to players that are not on the team. They paid $25 million to Javon Hargrave last year, and he was on the San Francisco 49ers. They paid him to be on the NFC Championship team. And they were able to bring in Saquon Barkley. They were able to bring in Zach Bond. They were able to bring in all these different guys. And they won the Super Bowl because of it. You can manipulate the cap in a way in order to do this. Now, again, I want to preface, that's my opinion. You can keep Rodgers on, pay him the dead cap, and still be competitive with a rookie quarterback or a new quarterback after he retires. All that is true. But it's not wrong to say, hey, we want to be in good cap standing. And let's really go all out for whoever the quarterback is, if we're going to trade up for Arch Manning or whoever it ends up being in 2026, and let's go that route moving forward. There's no wrong answer yet. We're not going to know what the correct answer is until the games actually get started to play, because Aaron Glenn has said all the right things to this point. Aaron Rodgers is not one of 52. He is part of the collective. He is part of 53. We're going to make the best decision for the organization, for the entire team, not just for Aaron Rodgers. That's a great answer. Everyone agreed with that. The question is, who's going to be the quarterback now? I would have kept him. Jake, I know you probably would have, but I don't know if they're necessarily wrong to say no.
I feel like Tyrod Taylor is the favorite because he's on the roster.
Yeah.
That's my initial read on it.
Initially, probably Tyrod, and they'll go the Buffalo Bill route of, hey, we're going to compete with Tyrod Taylor as much as we can, and if we can get to 8-9 wins, he's done it before. We can get to 8-9 wins. We can really be solid and develop the culture in the right way, kind of like what happened with Bill Parcells. Parcells didn't make the playoffs his first year, but he won 9 games. There was a clear shift in the organization. If they're able to get to 8-9 wins, there's going to be a lot of people happy, a lot of people building up to the future, and then maybe you try and trade up for a quarterback again. Josh Allen the Buffalo Bills traded up for him. The Chiefs traded up for Patrick Mahomes. Both teams made the playoffs the previous year and were able to find their franchise quarterback. So it's not impossible. You don't need to be a top 5 pick in order to get the quarterback of your choice. The Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round. There's different ways to do this. It's just a matter of getting it right. And again, like I said, we're not going to know until 6-7 months from now.
It just feels like the ceiling of what next year could be is a lot lower now.
Completely capped. The ceiling is, and again, with Rodgers, you can win a playoff game. You can maybe win 2 playoff games. It's a stretch. It's certainly a stretch, but you see the path because he's done it before. He's done it before with much weaker rosters. The Packers were 8-7-1 one year back in, I think it was like 2014, 2015, and they got to the conference championship. Like, it was one of the worst teams we have seen from Green Bay, and they still got to the conference finals. He can win games, but that was also 13 years ago. There's no guarantee that he would be able to do that now at that point. So the ceiling is certainly capped, but the ceiling was capped with Bill Parcells in his first year, and they went 9-7. And I think most fans, Jake, I'm not going to speak for you, but would you sign up for a 9-8, 10-7 year where you're competing for a playoff spot? Maybe you don't get in year 1 with Aaron Glenn, but Tyrod Taylor just keeps you afloat and the team plays much better around their new coach. Would you sign up for that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, think about it. This team hasn't won more than 7 games in a decade.
Of course.
But I don't know if that's realistic. Like, people are going to keep bringing up Parcells, and I get it. But, like, Aaron Glenn's never coached before. Bill Parcells was a 2-time Super Bowl champion and had already been to a 3rd Super Bowl by the time he was the Jet head coach in 97.
Absolutely. And there are different cases where there's going to be some issues, and Aaron Glenn's going to have to answer a lot of it because he is taking a gamble. He is essentially saying, I have a 4 or 5 year contract. I know that I'm going to have some stability and some safety. All I want to do is make sure that I'm building this the right way in my image. That's a gamble, because if you win 4 games or 3 games and you're in contention once again for a top 5 pick, and you lose out to Archie Manning again, then this cycle has just continued, switching Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich with Aaron Glenn. Not saying that's going to happen, though, because there are some good coaches here. There clearly is a path, a cohesive path for the organization. And more importantly, Woody Johnson has bought in. And Woody Johnson buying in probably is the most important thing, because he never bought into the Robert Saleh era. It's very clear he didn't buy into the Robert Saleh era.
If you're watching this live right now, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The Asmaniac raffle number 15 is coming. We're just days away. A Curtis Martin autographed Hall of Fame helmet is the grand prize, followed by a signed Wayne Corbett jersey, a signed Don Maynard helmet, a replica Joe Willie Namath Super Bowl III ring, and a signed Aaron Glenn trading card. Those 5 prizes are on the line. Gift the membership. We'll shout you out, and you'll be entered in the raffle. Plus, it's a great way to support the channel if you don't have anything you want super chatted for Nick or myself to respond to. You brought up the coaching staff. The coaching staff has officially been finalized by Aaron Glenn. The Jets themselves announced it yesterday. I have a graphic here from Richie over at Jets Media. Full credit to him. He put together all the names, so I'll put it up on the screen. Of the names on this list, Nick, what stood out to you? What intrigues you? And before we even get into that, shout out to Rick Kent, who just dropped a 10 bomb, baby. 10 channel memberships have been gifted.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
Ah, the hell with it.
Rick Kent in for 10. The following 10 listeners are now channel members. NY Sack Exchange, Anthony Skull, Dante, JJ Vittori, Duncan Lloyd, Sebastian Diaz, Joseph Webb, Tom Murray, K9 Cohen, all receiving channel memberships. Thank you very much to Rick, as always, for his very generous support. Without further ado, Nick, now we can break down this coaching staff. Your thoughts on Aaron Glenn's 2025 New York Jets staff.
The defense looks incredible. I mean, you look, Aaron Curry at linebackers. He did a great job with Pittsburgh this past year. I love the Chris Harris hire. I love the Dre Bly hire. All of this looks really, really good. Eric Washington has been around for a long time. And I'll be quite frank again, that looks like a stacked defensive and special team staff. I have a couple articles coming out about what Aaron Glenn got right and wrong for his coaching staff. And I really like his coordinators. Tanner Engstrand is going to be an up-and-coming name. Everyone that I talk to around the league say the Jets got a really strong, young, offensive-minded individual. So I think Jet fans should be excited about that. The problem, and again, once again, you're kind of digging yourself into the same hole. There's no experience in this offensive staff. Scott Turner has been around, great. He's not his father, though. I think he's, 42 years old? He's not like some old, experienced individual. There is very little experience in this offensive staff. A couple of coaches from college, Steve Heinden, tight end coach, turned offensive line coach. Now, I think Heinden can do a good job because he's worked in Detroit, and Detroit's done great works in terms of their overall blocking. But to me, if I'm Aaron Glenn, okay, I got an experienced former head coach in Steve Wilks to run my defense. Great. I have a game manager and Berger. Great. All that is great. Where's the experience on offense? You don't really see that. You don't really have that.
It's just Turner. That's really it.
And maybe it changes. Maybe you're able to bring in Todd Haley later on as an associate. Maybe he helps out here and there. All that stuff can be true. But there's a lot of inexperience in that offensive staff. And that's essentially what Robert Saleh did in his first tenure. Now, this team's a lot different. This team has been built a lot different now than they were back when Robert Saleh first took the head job in 2021. But you need experience. If you're going to be a defensive-minded head coach, and Aaron Glenn can talk all he wants about, I'm a head coach. I'm not defense. I'm not offense. I'm the full head coach. That's all well and good. He's got a defensive background. He's got a mainly defensive background. You need someone who understands how to develop offenses, offensive systems in the modern era, and know how to develop quarterbacks. Outside of Engstrand, I don't see one person here that has successfully developed an offensive system with a quarterback in place that's able to interchange with other people. I look at this, and again, Turner, he's got experience, but he's not his father. He's 42 years old. It's not like he's been around the league for 40 years. I'm looking at someone like, if you want an offensive guy, Todd Haley, Doug Peterson, those guys that may be able to help out in an associate role, just trying to help develop a system in place for the overall group. They're not having that. And I think that could be a big issue moving forward for this team.
Super chat from Bino. He cuts the line. I saw someone break down why signing Jameis Winston, a lot of knocks on Winston were said about Vinny T before Parcells signed him. I'm not saying I want him, but they made salient points in the comparisons. I think you're referring to Connor Rogers. He had a really good take on some of the similarities between Jameis Winston and Vinny Testaverde, for those of you who want to go down that 98 rabbit hole. Former number one pick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, bounced around the league, threw a lot of interceptions. I think Vinny had like a 35 interception season early in his career. Winston intrigues me, I will say, because there's at least some upside there, and obviously there's physical talent. He was the first pick in the draft for a reason. If you really evaluate the options, he's probably higher up on the list than many realize, because the other options are terrible.
I'm going to be honest. I would rather Jameis Winston than Justin Fields. And that may come as a surprise, but Justin Fields isn't a good passer. And like, I watched the tape in Pittsburgh and I watched the tape in Chicago, and he's just not an NFL quarterback. You see it. It's one read. Most of the time he can't make the completion, and he'll have one good throw out of 10. He's not consistent enough. He's a complete project that is essentially being given the opportunity to play quarterback because he runs really well. That's not conducive to success. Jameis, he hasn't been very successful either, but I will say he can throw the football. He can get the reads done. He's going to turn the ball over a little bit, but I do agree. I think there is some semblance of comparison to Vinny Testaverde that would make a lot of sense.
Jameis Winston's last full year starting was in 2019. Team went 7-9. It was the year before Brady got there. 5,109 yards, 33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, averaged 319 passing yards per game. At least it would be fun. If this team's not going to be very good next year, at least Winston would make it fun.
Listen, well, that's the thing. If they win 6-7 games, but they're competitive in a lot, and Winston is just, he'll have a 50-yard touchdown and a 40-yard interception return for a score, you're going to get that roller coaster. I think Jets fans would sign up for that over watching a quarterback that can't complete a 5-yard out. That would be my thought.
He's young too. Like he'd be 31 this upcoming season.
Yeah, that's the comparison to Testaverde. I never really thought of it that way, but the more I think about it, it's not a bad comparison.
Look, he's going to lose you games with the turnovers, but he'll win you games as well.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Like if we're not going to be good next year, at least have a watchable offense, entertaining,
just something fun. Just show a semblance of competency where you can put up points. You may not win games, but if you're losing games 27-30 or 31-35 and you're clearly building towards something, then you can really get people excited for the future. Okay, we have a system that works. Now let's get our quarterback. That changes a lot of the conversation.
The other reason why I guess I'm pro Winston is he's a friend of the Jake Asman show.
Hey, Jameis, would you come to the Jets? They might need a quarterback. Jets, Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, our exclusive interview with now friend of the show, Jameis Winston.
Didn't say no, so I think we can't rule it out, obviously.
Well, you look at them, you look at the Giants. Pittsburgh may also be another. I have no idea what the hell Pittsburgh is going to do. That's going to be up in the air. So there's going to be a lot of teams probably up for his services. There's going to be a lot of teams that, may want to take another flyer on Justin Fields and say, hey, you're not completing any passes and you can't score points, but you run the ball really well. Let's take a look at it.
I don't know if they could get Fields even if they wanted him, because I think he's kind of in that Darnold Mayfield mold from a few years ago where he's former first-round pick. A team will probably pay more than the Jets are able to pay him because, think about it, if you're absorbing the Rodgers dead cap this year and you already have Tyrod on the books, are you going to be able to spend $10 to $15 million on Fields? Because that's probably the range of what he's going to get. Winston wouldn't cost that.
Man, if Justin Fields gets 10, 15 million, man, everything I look on the tape just shows a deficient passer. And there's going to be people that are upset. People have loved Justin Fields ever since his time in Ohio State. But you can't look at the tape that he's shown, even in Pittsburgh. There's a reason why Pittsburgh went to Russell Wilson when they did. They couldn't score points. They couldn't. They just couldn't do it because he was missing players time and time again.
Scott writes in $1.5 million league minimum with Kirk Cousins.
So Cousins is an interesting conundrum. Again, kind of very similar to Rodgers, coming off an Achilles injury, all these other issues, all these problems. He's a winner. He's won in the regular season, hasn't really won in the postseason. He's got put up good numbers throughout his career, but he was absolutely terrible in Atlanta. Most people, I think, would give him the understanding that he's coming off an Achilles injury, and those injuries kind of take 2 years to get back to full strength, to get trust back in your leg. All that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, sure, Cousins could work. It could make a lot of sense. But if I'm the Jets, if I'm turning down Aaron Rodgers, I'm looking for someone who I'm taking a flyer on to be the next Sam Darnold, to be the next Geno Smith. You know what you're getting with Kirk Cousins. It's, okay, great, 8-9 wins, 4,000 yards, all this other stuff. You're going to lose a lot of games. The minute the lights turn on, he's going to shrink away like a turtle. That's just – I'd rather stay away from Cousins overall.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Reminder about our raffle. Rick Kent is the first person in the show to gift memberships for a chance to win a signed Curtis Martin helmet, a signed Wayne Corbett jersey, signed Don Maynard helmet, also a replica Joe Willie ring, and an Aaron Glenn signed trading card. We're presented today by SeatGeek. Get tickets to the Knicks, the Nets, St. John's, any event in the New York area, any concert, Broadway show, stand-up comedian. SeatGeek has it all Use promo code Jake Asman, and I'll save you $20 off your first order. SeatGeek's awesome. You just download the app, and you'll see. You search the event you want, and while you're there, it's going to give you all the options, and they're going to rank your deal on tickets. If you see a green dot hovering over the tickets you select, that means you're getting a good deal. You see a red dot, not a good deal. Very easy. Even my dad can figure out how to use the SeatGeek app, and that's when you know. So use the SeatGeek app, and if you haven't purchased tickets yet, Jake Asman at checkout will get you $20 off. Shout out to SeatGeek for being today's presenting sponsor. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line for Nick Faria. Gusbuster hotline link is pinned as well. We have a super chat here from Bimbus, who writes in, I think the Jets will try to target a QB in free agency, but if they can't find one, I think they'll trade up. I hate Kirk. Get that idea out of your head. Well, they're going to definitely sign someone in free agency no matter what. But I also think they're going to seriously consider still drafting someone, maybe not at 7, but end of the first round, trade back in, day 2, second or third round. I'd be very surprised that there's not a quarterback added at some point during the draft.
If they fall in love with someone, whoever it is, Jackson Dart, any other guy, and that team, and they don't feel that they can get him in the second round, it would not surprise me if the Jets tried to take a flyer at 7 for the quarterback. And the reason why I say that is because that's what the Denver Broncos did last year. Bo Nix, everyone I talked to before the draft, they had Bo Nix and Michael Penix in the second round. The only thing, and the thing that changed everything last year was when Atlanta picked Penix. Then that forced Denver to essentially say, crap, we can't afford to wait. Let's take him in the first round and see what we can get behind him, Bo Nix, of course, in the second round. They loved Bo Nix. They fell in love with him early in the draft process, and that continued throughout. If you're the Jets and you fall in love with a quarterback, then you take him with the 7th pick. You have to, because you may not get him in the second round. And again, that's why I say we need to be patient a little bit to determine what exactly what's going to happen. Just because we look at this quarterback class and say, well, it's not as good as last year's, there's no one here that I would worth taking in the first round or the first overall pick, doesn't mean that this quarterback class is going to be bad. I look at 2016, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, 3 quarterbacks. 2 have been to the Super Bowl. 1 was an MVP candidate. The other's absolutely carving it up with Detroit. And the third was a 4th-round pick from Dallas that's been a consistent Pro Bowl player throughout his career. The 2016 quarterback class was overlooked considerably over and over and over again, but that turned out to be a pretty good one. The same thing could happen here. We have no idea. We have absolutely no idea. So I would caution Jet fans to be patient on their quarterback determinations for this class, because it could turn out to be a very strong one, and they could fall in love with a Dart or somebody else and say, hey, we're going to take him because we know we're not going to have that availability at 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, Abu Dhabi Jets fan with a $10 super chat cuts the line. Jake, we know all the answers to the quarterback question, and none of them are good.
I don't disagree with this, and I'm going to preface: the Jets are going to have a plan. They're going to have a thought process. If they go with Tyrod Taylor, your ceiling is probably 8-9 wins. But if they get to 8-9 wins, if they hit that ceiling, there's going to be a lot of people excited for the future because it shows that the quality of play has improved under Aaron Glenn. Does that mean that the playoff drought's going to hit 15 years? Probably. But we have no idea what's going to happen in that end. I don't like any free agent quarterback, and I've said from the beginning the draft is always a crapshoot. We just have no idea what the plan is going to be, and we're not going to know for another couple of weeks.
Well, it feels like the plan is to sniff 4 or 5 wins, Nick. Right? That feels like the plan right now, pending something magical happening, like a Fitzpatrick 2015 type of year.
But let's say that happens. And again, we saw with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Let's say they get 10 wins or 9 wins. They get the 18th, 20th pick in the draft. They trade up for a quarterback in a much better quarterback class. I think almost every Jets fan would sign up for that in year 1.
I would not sign for 5 wins.
Of course not. But we have no idea. Is my point. Like they could be a lot better this year than we're giving them credit for because it's February 12th and we have no idea what kind of players they're going to bring into this roster.
So, Nick, I have a question for you. Who would you say out of all the callers I take on the show probably smells the worst? See if you can get this.
So, who actually or who I think would?
Yeah, who do you think smells the worst?
It's terrible to say, but it depends on the day. If Charles is just, ripping one left and right, I would probably stay away. Bobby would probably be another one, I would think.
You got it right. And since I think I could smell the 4-win season, I'm wearing my Bobby Midnight as Maniac t-shirt. 4 wins, baby. Here we go.
Again, maybe that happens. And they put themselves in line to get Archie Manning or whoever the top quarterback is next year. I haven't really done much research, but I know Arch is going to be a big name for that. I'd sign up for Arch Manning as my quarterback of a team if I didn't have Jalen Hurts on. That'd be me.
Do we know if Arch Manning's even going to be good? Like, we're doing this, we got to get the quarterback, and it's like, here we go.
We have no idea. We have no idea about this class. We have no idea about next year. We have no idea about 2 years from now. We have absolutely no idea.
All right. Some super chats here. Let's get this one from Adam. Adam, appreciate you. Congrats, Nick, on the SB win. I think Fields stays in Pittsburgh. We need to find a second chance QB with a lot to prove. Pickett, maybe. It's slim pickings.
I don't think you're going to trade for Pickett because the other thing is you have to trade. Fields is a free agent. That's going to be that's a fundamental difference. You're not trading a third or a fourth for Kenny Pickett or Tanner McKee for that matter, because I thought McKee was fantastic as well this past season. I don't think Fields stays in Pittsburgh. If he was going to stay in Pittsburgh, we would have probably already have heard from the Rooneys that, hey, the quarterback is on the roster. No, they're far more open to exploring different ideas in free agency this year. So I look at things and I say Fields is going to be available. Maybe they want to pair him and make Garrett Wilson happy with his college quarterback. I think that could go a long way to getting an extension done. There's so many factors here that have to come into play that we just don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Double R. Public selling low on Aaron Rodgers. Bad investment move. Well, do you think Aaron plays next year, Nick?
Yes, I think he does play. If I were to venture a guess as for who, Tennessee or the Raiders?
The Raiders would be interesting. I wonder if Devontae would go back there, if that's awkward at all. New regime,
I don't know if he
owner.
would. Yeah, I don't know if he would, but I will say I think Brady looms large there. With Brady and Carroll, I think he absolutely would try to go there.
Henny writes in, just wait till Jackson Dart's pro day. I can smell pick 7.
Again, I'm not saying that Jackson Dart's going to be the pick at 7. If I'm the Jets, I'm going best player available, whether it's Mason Graham, whether it's a receiver, whatever it is. All I'm saying is if the team falls in love with a quarterback, and I mean is just this is our guy, we want to build around him, then you cannot wait to hope that he's going to be available in the second round. If it's Dart, then you take him at 7. That it's just the MO. That's always been the thing. It worked with Bo Nix and the Broncos. It's the exact same thing of what the Minnesota Vikings did. It's really what Atlanta did, even though I think Atlanta was probably the dumbest team overall in the draft night because they just signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year contract, and it blew up in their face.
If they took Dart at 7, he should not see the field his rookie year.
I completely agree.
Like he should. I don't care what the record is. He's not ready to play as a rookie.
He's not ready to play, and if you were to play him right away, you are essentially saying, we have learned nothing from Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. You cannot play a rookie quarterback when you don't have the full offensive system in place with everyone around him. You cannot do that. It's the dumbest thing teams do. You look at Caleb Williams. Caleb struggled at the beginning of the year, started playing well later on in the year. Do you think he could have worked out a little bit better had they just sort of nudged him along and just tried to be more patient with him? Of course. Not saying that Zach Wilson would have been a great quarterback because of it, but he was set up to fail right from the very beginning because they essentially said, hey, we've got a really bad football team here, but go on and figure it out and be our savior. That's not conducive to long-term success. If it's Dart, if it's another quarterback, you sit his ass for the first year, first 10 games, whatever it is, and you say, learn. Just watch and learn the entire time.
I can already see it now. if they draft Jackson Dart and he ends up being bad, like we'll have that game against like the Patriots. He throws 3 picks, and the headline of the New York Post the next morning is Jackson fart. Like you can already see it now.
The one thing I will say is I think bad teams stay bad because they have no idea how to develop quarterbacks. And Jalen Hurts didn't start a game until week 12. Lamar Jackson didn't start until week 12, 13. Patrick didn't start until the next year. There's a process to do this. And if you want long-term success, like Aaron Glenn says, if you're drafting a quarterback, if you fall in love with the quarterback and you want him to succeed under your staff, then you sit his ass and watch game film the entire year. That's it.
Fiore with a super chat. Thank you, Fiore. Appreciate your support as always. Why reach for a quarterback in 2025 when 2026 will be a better class? If you draft a QB at 7, you are stuck for 3 years with that decision. Take a flyer in round 2 through 4. Cool, not nearly as risky. Take BPA at pick 7. I agree with this. Or if you really love someone and you want the 5th-year option on them, trade up at the end of round 1 for a guy like Dart if you believe in him, like what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson.
But you're not going to be the only team that tries to trade up in that instance.
Well, it's not a must for me.
Right. Well, I completely. But we're both in agreement. They probably shouldn't draft the quarterback this year. All I'm saying is if they fall in love with a player, if they're like, we need Dart on this team, well, then you're going to have to make that decision. You're going to have to either make the pick at 7 or give up significant draft capital to move up back into the first round. Anyway. I look at where things stand right now. Again, I'm not saying that Aaron Glenn is wrong to move on from Aaron Rodgers. This is a multifaceted point. He's the best quarterback available, but you'd have to pay a massive cap hit. That doesn't make any sense for any team that's looking for long-term success. It's good to sort of put the hammer down and say that this is Aaron Glenn's team, but also at the same point, all 4 things could be true, and that you have no answer at quarterback. You are gambling your first couple of years by not having a proven answer at the quarterback position.
Rich says, hit the like button. He's right. Hit the like button. Super chat here from Adam, who says, Dart is no better than Jordan Travis. Cam is the only QB.
Well, I think Shedeur Sanders is a very, very good quarterback, but I don't think Dion would allow him to go to the Jets. Look, I like Jordan Travis. And personally, if I were the Jets and I'm being told that I cannot keep Aaron Rodgers and I have to make a decision at the quarterback position, I'm having a quarterback battle in training camp between Jordan Travis and Tyrod Taylor. And I'm going to say, whoever gives us the best chance to win, we'll get it. And then we'll build off. We'll win as many games as we can. And we'll be positioning ourselves to get our quarterback in 2026. That would be my case if I was told I could not bring back Aaron Rodgers.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Gator McCluskey checks in with a super chat. If the Jets believe in Cam, what would you trade up with Tennessee? If we trade one of our core 3, what position is the easiest to replace?
Probably edge rusher this year. Well, it depends on the core 3. So is it Jermaine, Sauce, and Garrett, or is it Garrett, Sauce, and Brees? You're not going to be able to give Brees to Tennessee and say, oh, we'll give you 7 in Brees Hall. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to choose between Sauce and Garrett. Probably the best one to trade would be Garrett Wilson because receivers now are just coming out left and right, and they have just been phenomenal. But it's tough. I wouldn't trade any of those guys. I wouldn't trade up to number 1. I really wouldn't.
I would do it if they truly believed in Cam Ward.
But then you want to surround him with good players, and then you would have to say, okay, well, you're going to have to give up a 2026 pick.
Well, they have pretty good players, like offensively, at least up front, and a running game and a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, but you don't want to trade away that number 1 receiver.
I wouldn't trade Garrett in the deal.
So then who would you trade? What players would you put?
I would try and get it done with draft capital.
But then you're sacrificing the future for the quarterback. And that's
you don't have a future if you don't have a quarterback. If you think Cam Ward's the real deal, that's what you got to do.
That's the slippery slope you have, though, because you want to surround him with great talent. You can't really do that if you're giving away 2-3 first-round picks.
But do they not have already a way better infrastructure for that scenario than they did with Darnold or Wilson? Like, 100%. You have a number 1 receiver. You have a pretty good running room. The offensive line has some real pieces on it. 4 of the 5 guys are already in place. I'd bring back Moses back as well on a 1-year deal. Like, if it costs you your first, your second, and a 1 next year, I'd have to consider it if I believe in Cam Ward.
I think Tennessee would want more. I think 2 firsts and a second. They probably want a player with that. And then you get into if you're giving up a defensive player, who's it going to be? If you're giving up an offensive player, who's going to be? I'd rather just stay at 7.
They can't get 2 first-round draft picks.
I mean, what was it? The 49ers gave up, 3 to move up?
Yeah, but they were going from 15. Like, I don't have the draft value chart up in front of me, but like 7 is a really valuable pick.
Let me try it. Let me take a look. Draft value.
Like, if you give 7 and they have a second-round pick that's also pretty high, like, that's the thing people talk about when we talk about these trades. Like, not all first-round picks are equal.
Yeah, so the Jets valued right now is at $1,500. Tennessee's at $3,000. The Jets' second-round pick is valued at $480. That gets you to about $2,000, just under $2,000. They didn't have to expect the pick's going to be top 16. That would be the gamble for Tennessee. Maybe you add in a third-round pick. You know what, Jake? I stand corrected. Maybe that does it.
Well, I just don't know how many other teams are desperate to trade up, you know?
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. So, like, if you're
New
the
England's
Giants,
not. The Giants maybe, right? The Giants, but it feels like they've been linked to Shador over Cam. Now maybe Cleveland would,
but maybe
pull
Cleveland
the trigger at 2.
says, let's say let's say Tennessee drafts Cam Ward, and Cleveland says we're going to take Shador Sanders, and whether his father likes it or not, that's going to put the Giants in a panic mode because they don't have their quarterback. They are banking on either Shador or Cam Ward falling to them at 3. That's a gamble, and that would be absolutely hilarious if they had to trade up from 3 to 2 and give up significant capital in order to do that.
Look, I don't know if I personally would make that move, but I would say this: I wouldn't be upset if they believe Cam Ward's the guy and they did it. You know what I mean? Like, if you have conviction, then you got to let your GM and coach get their quarterback.
You fall in love with the guy, you go and get that guy, especially at the quarterback position, plain and simple.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people.
I didn't realize the draft chart actually was pretty favorable to your point, Jake, and I'll give you full credit for that. It's first, second, next year first. That's not significant draft capital. So it is significant. What I mean is you're not mortgaging your entire future years after years after years. Like you can make up a first-round pick in 2026.
You definitely can. And like I look at it like this. You already have enough pieces here where it's like, you can't put the quarterback out there. Well, yeah. I don't know if I'd want him to play right away, start Tyrod at the beginning of the year, the same way the Patriots started Brissett until May was ready. But
worked for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, like that's kind of how I would look at it. You know, like if I believe Cam Ward's the guy and it's only going to cost me my second round pick this year and my first next year, I got to consider it. It's 1 first-round pick and a second-round pick. Pick seven carries a lot of weight. Like a top 7 pick is weighted heavily on those charts.
I think you just gave me my idea for another article today, so I appreciate you on that. What would it take to move up to first overall?
I better be getting credit. Jake Asman made this great point on the number 1 Jets podcast out there.
just gonna sit there and be like, yeah, we had this conversation, and I sat there and said I wouldn't do that deal if I'm Tennessee, but you know what? It kind of makes sense.
Well, if you're Tennessee, like I don't know if 7 is best case for you. I feel like if you're Tennessee and you could somehow get to 3, you make the Giants come up, you're guaranteed one of the top 2 players in the draft no matter what. You're either walking away with Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, and then just get your quarterback next year because you're not under the gun to get your quarterback because you just hired a first-time GM.
Let's also be fair, and I say this half jokingly and also half kind of serious. There are a lot of players in this draft who kind of want to go to specific places. I think Shedeur Sanders wants to go to the Giants. I think he's fully bent on going to the Giants. Abdul Carter is a diehard Eagles fan, like diehard. And
stop. You guys aren't getting him. You won the Super Bowl. Leave me alone.
Listen, if there's a person that would trade draft capital for a dynamic player like that, it's probably Howie Roseman.
You're just going to sit there. 32. How are you getting him?
No, we could give up a couple of firsts. We give up a player. No, I have no idea what's going to happen. But if Abdul Carter sits there and says, I'm not playing for any team other than the Eagles, you better trade up and get me because otherwise I'm sitting my ass for any other team.
That's not happening. Who's this guy to demand to play for the Super Bowl champs?
Who's Shadur Sanders to say that he won't play for the Cleveland Browns?
But we're talking about Shador going in
I know.
The top five.
It's more of just the, hey, Eagles fan, connect the dots, maybe, potentially.
That's not happening. Matt makes a good point. Saquon grew up a Jet fan. He got drafted by the Giants.
Yeah, and
Saquon's dad said that he rooted for the Jets when Saquon played the Jets this past year or last year.
Yeah, and now he's an Eagle. He's an MVP. He's MVP candidate. Thank you.
You want Hassan Reddick back, by the way?
So it's kind
of
of
Bryce Huff being inactive, by the way. The Eagles still having the best
and it didn't even matter.
Ever.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But I will say there's going to be an interesting offseason question for both the Jets and the Eagles because the Eagles are losing Josh Sweat in free agency. The Jets are obviously going to let Hassan Reddick walk. Could there be a path to New York signing Josh Sweat, who just dominated the Super Bowl, 2.5 sacks, was absolutely incredible, and Philadelphia bringing back Hassan Reddick? I think there's an actual path to that happening because the Jets desperately need edge rushers who know how to rush the passer and can defend the run really, really well. And Sweat is really good at both. He had a great year this year overall. The Jets are going to need to address their edge rusher position. They're going to need to address the interior defensive line position. Those are probably the two biggest needs overall for the Jets right now. So I could certainly see a path. Sweat goes to the Jets, Reddick goes back to the Eagles, and everyone calls it a day. And Bryce Huff is sitting there as a fourth edge rusher while Philadelphia just counts the money.
Pretty crazy that Bryce Huff was paid $51 million and was inactive for the Super Bowl.
And no one will ever look at that poorly because how he nailed the Saquon Barkley signing. He nailed Zach Bond, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You have all these other guys they drafted phenomenally this year. And Bryce Huff is the afterthought because they didn't really need him. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I've never really seen anything like this.
What's his contract? Could he be released?
I think it does. He can be, but it sounds like Howie is going to keep him on the roster and be like, hey, first years aren't always great. You look at Carlos Beltran, awful first year with the Mets, and then he became an all-time great Met. So I certainly think that that's a possibility where they just keep him and hope that he develops with a full year under his belt.
How about Becton? Is he going to be brought back?
I think he'll be brought back. He was phenomenal. Again, he had a great year. He was a Pro Bowl candidate, had all pro votes, was phenomenal in the playoffs, was really good in the Super Bowl. I think you're looking at Philadelphia bringing back Becton. I think they'll bring back Becton, Bond, and probably Milton Williams, and they'll let Josh Sweat walk. And I think the Jets, with all their needs, I think they need another edge rusher. Because the other thing is this, you can't trust Jermaine Johnson is going to be back to 100% right away. I just don't see that happening. It's not fair to expect him to be the same guy he was before the injury. That's just not realistic.
DG with a Asmaniac super chat. By the way, everyone, reminder, when you become a channel member, you get a free super chat every month. I'd say give Jordan Travis a shot if he's healthy. Nobody knows if he's the long-term guy. NFL is all about opportunity. Give him a shot to win the job. Well, I got news for you. He's going to get an opportunity to at least show up to OTAs because they start before the draft. And let's see if he's healthy. Like, if the Jets think he could play, just because this regime didn't take him doesn't mean they're automatically going to get rid of him. I just think he's a long shot because of the injury, the fact that, yes, the regime didn't take him. But, like, we're talking about a fifth-round pick, guys. There's no real difference between Jordan Travis and the dart throws they've done in the past on a guy like Bryce Petty, for example. Like, you're not expecting much.
I don't expect anything. But if I were the Jets coach and I was told that I couldn't bring back Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't gamble on this quarterback class. I would sit there and say Tyrod Taylor and Jordan Travis. That's your competition, and we'll win. We'll win as many games as we can.
Jordan Travis, man. I hope he can walk. Like, I hope he's healthy.
And that's the thing. Like, if he was drafted, if he didn't have the injury, he's probably going in the second round last year. He was really good in college, and he looked good. He looked like a top prospect. I think there was even a possibility where a team could have traded up late in the first round to draft him. That's how good I thought he was. And if you're the Jets, you got him late. You wanted him to just sit for a year to essentially learn the game, get fully healthy. Well, now he is, and now the determination is, can he play at the NFL level? I think he can. It's just a matter of putting the right system around him.
Gator writes in, how about a change of scenery for Kyler Murray?
I don't think they're going to do that just yet. I think that's on the table maybe next year. I don't think they do that this year.
I don't understand why the Cardinals would get rid of Murray. Like, what's their plan at quarterback?
Well, the NFC West is wide open now. Like, the 49ers are going to have some major changes. Deebo Samuel is probably going to be gone. You're going to have some major questions on the defense because they are just older than old can be. And the Rams, Cooper Kupp's gone. Matthew Stafford could be gone. The Seahawks are a question mark with Geno. The West is going to be available for that team to win. Why would you get rid of them in a year where you were in contention for the division in the first place?
Yeah, I don't really see why they'd move on from him. He's a pretty solid quarterback.
Maybe next year, maybe Gannon wants his guy. He wants to draft a quarterback, but you don't start your clock before you need to. That would be starting the clock on Gannon's tenure, and it just wouldn't make sense to do that.
B-Show writes in, Dolphins fan here, you got to trade up to one of the Titans, get like Sam Darnold. Cam Ward will make Garrett stay too. I mean, it will be interesting what the Titans do at quarterback because they're going to have to add somebody. If they add Darnold, he could be their long-term guy, but it feels like there's a lot of smoke of Darnold going to the Raiders with Pete Carroll there.
I look at the Titans as Rodgers. They were in on Manning a while back. They clearly want a quarterback because, listen, the Titans have some talent there too. They didn't win many games, but that defense was really, really good at different points. That secondary is really solid. You're bringing the quarterback who's had experience winning. I think Rodgers makes a hell of a lot more sense than Darnold, in my opinion.
Peter Castro says Aaron Glenn is Woody's water boy.
Guys, it's too early for this. It's too early in his tenure to make these kind of comments. We have no idea what's going to happen. By and large, it really looks like Aaron Glenn's running the show now. It's not Woody Johnson. That's what I see right now.
Jamal says, just heard on ESPN Radio, fans should look at the Lions 2021 season for inspiration. The Lions record that year, 3-13-1. Color me hyped.
I don't think they're going to be like the Lions. I don't think it's going to be that bad. They have a lot more talent on the team than the Lions did. And I got to be honest, I don't see 3-13 possible. I see 7-8 wins potentially on the horizon.
Anthony says, hit the like. He's right. If you're one of the people out there, the 626 of you live and the thousands after the fact, and you haven't hit the like button, you're guaranteeing the Jets are winning 4 games or less. Those are the rules. So it's up to you. Do you want the Jets to win games? Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Bang Mateo writes in, poach the Eagles for quarterback Tanner McKee. He brings championship experience.
All right. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. If the Jets were to bring in Tanner McKee, that would be great for the team. It'd be great. He is a player, if you watch him in the preseason, you watch him against the Giants, he is an old school pocket passer. If this was 15 years ago, he would be a first-round pick. I'm dead serious. He would have been a first-round pick because he's got the arm, he's got great accuracy, he's got great touch, and he's a good leader. He's a quarterback that will be a starter down the road, maybe in a year or two, because he's going to be Hurts' immediate backup next year because he was that good in limited action. He's going to be his immediate backup probably over Kenny Pickett next year, I would expect. And then he will be traded to another team, and he will probably be a starting quarterback. I absolutely love what Tanner McKee brings. If you're looking for the old school pocket passer, this is the guy you want.
Tanner McKee.
You heard it here first. And listen, if it just so happens that the Jets trade for Tanner McKee and he leads them to the playoffs and all of a sudden they go on a Kurt Warner-like run, I know Bang Mateo brought it up, but I want full credit for telling everyone that this is the guy that you would want if you want to develop a young quarterback.
Curly writes in, we have the all-knowing Aaron Glenn.
Nobody knows. Listen, Glenn is making the best decision for the team that he feels is best for the team. This is not the time to go over and say, oh, he has no idea what he's doing, because we have no idea what's going on. We have no idea if it's going to work out. That's the reality.
Super chat from the NYJ Pod, who's been an Asmaniac for 8 months, unable to gift memberships. I can receive them. Can you help, please? All right. So if you want to gift a membership, when you hit the super chat button, that money button, there's a button that says gift a membership. Now, you have to do it from a desktop or a laptop. If you try to do it from an iPhone, I don't believe it works. I think from an Android, though, YouTube lets you gift, which is very odd. Like, YouTube should figure that out because they're costing themselves a lot of revenue. That said, NYJ Pod, if you super chat $20, you're in for 5 raffle entries. It's the same thing, so we can give people that are on their phone who consume the show another opportunity. Andrew says, are the Jets allowed to have 2 Tanners? That's true. The OC would be Tanner, and then the quarterback would be Tanner in this scenario.
I think the Eagles have like 15 Jalen's on their roster, so yes.
Bang Mateo says, Bang Mateo is always ahead of the curve.
Listen, Bang brought up the point, but Tanner McKee is my quarterback. So therefore, I get the credit, and then Bang is appreciated along the way. That's how it works.
I see. Matthew says, yeah, I could get for my Android. Well, prove it, Matthew. Get yourself in the raffle. You want it. You need it. All right? You want that signed Curtis Martin helmet, or the signed Corbett jersey, or the signed Maynard helmet, or the Namath ring, or the Glenn photo. Those are the prizes, baby. Come on now. Bomber wants Beast Breaker at QB1. Do you think Beast would have an opportunity to compete if they signed him?
No, wouldn't do it. And quite frankly, I would sit there and tell him, hey, you're going to sit the bench, and whenever whoever QB1 is, you get him the water and a towel ready.
Matthew has proved it. He can, in fact, gift a membership, baby. Boom. Matthew's entry in the raffle is complete. He gifted a channel membership to Dane81. Ladies and gentlemen, we have more memberships that are being gifted, more entries in the raffle. Fire Aaron Glenn is in the house. Nick, your thoughts on the name?
Good Lord. He's a month into the job, people. Get a grip.
Anthony East is the recipient of the membership from Fire Aaron Glenn. Here's the thing. Beastbreaker just wrote, say what, that's BS. What if I bring him on, Nick, and we have Beast basically simulate a snap under center, and you can break down the mechanics?
Sure. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beastbreaker.
Beastbreaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he'd gobble-goo.
All right, Beast. Nick doesn't believe that you have what it takes to be QB1 of the Jets. Give us a little feel how you'd be under center dropping back.
I will mix up every play in the book. I will go with I will go with shotgun, a little bit of far, a little near, and a little bit of a screen pass and mixture of play action. John Madden would even say the same thing. Just mix up your plays. You can't be doing the same damn play over and over again because you'll get squashed like a bug. Don't be stupid. Mix up your plays. There's 10,000 plays you could come up with. Learn to use this damn thing called a head. That's why I will go with my I formation. I will go with my weak. I will go with my shotgun. I will even add the running play.
Give us a snap,
But I'm not going to do it all the time. That's why you make it.
Beast.
My snap is get it down to the. What I want to do is I want to put down a 3 snap. But by the time 3 seconds hits, and I say snap it at 3. Get it to me. I will get in position.
Give me your cadence. I need a cadence. Green 18. Green 18 hot.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, let's go. 318. 318. Come on. Thank you.
Beast, you had a great run, but it's over for today.
Now look what you've done. Beastbreaker 666. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut your call off and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. Do you understand me? You catch my drift?
Are you seriously on crack? I think
Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
How about you betting over and taking up the booty hole behind the 7-Eleven?
That's it for Beast. He was sent to the hole with a 10 membership bounty by Jet Life. But Nick, what did you make of his cadence? I wanted him to really get under center and give us a set hut and then take a drop back, but we got the cadence at least.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I don't think he was loud enough. I think he could have been a little louder.
Yeah, the internet wasn't doing him any favors either,
Nope.
Beast. It was very choppy there. Brandon Sanzone, Mikey Boy Jets, Vero Beach NY Jets, Aswin Najeri John, Call It Out, David Toast, Mark Goldstein, Brandon Frey, Crunch of Numbers, David Griron, all just received channel memberships there from Jet Life, who put a 10 spot on the board there to send Beast to the hole. If you want Beast back from the hole, 10 memberships, you could post his bail. Nick, we covered a lot of ground today. Will you be in Indy at the Combine, by the way?
TBD.
All right.
TBD. Maybe.
Athlon needs to send you there. All right. Tell him to stop being cheap.
It's more the NFL. We have a credential request out. We'll see what happens.
They're going to approve you. You're on the beat. Come on.
I don't know.
Well, if you're there, I look forward to seeing you in person. We'll get you on again, obviously.
Absolutely.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Faria, Athlon Sports. Nick, enjoy the parade on Friday.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Nick Faria joining us. That's why he's coming out a few days early. He's going to the Eagles parade. Must be nice. Must be nice. Reminder, this show's available in podcast form. Search the Jake Asman Show on Apple or Spotify, and you'll be able to find it. Michael says, free the beast. Free the beast. Molon says, bring that beast back. I mean, look, this is what we're talking about. Jet Life says, I love you, Beast, but you can't be my quarterback. Dave Brigga says, Fatso is gone. Now, Dave. Bomber says, if we can't get Beast Breaker at QB1, maybe he could be our mascot. Jay says, leave Beast in the hole. Chat seems very split right now. Jimbo says if Jake's going, Nick should be there. I think Nick will be there. We went last year, for those of you who remember. We had some great interviews last year. Rich Eisen was probably the biggest one. Not probably, he was. We had some great ones. We had Janae Coakley on last year. We had Dane Brugler on last year. Connor Hughes. Will joined us in person. Rosenblatt joined us in person. Sure, this year. I don't know if Rich is going to the Combine, but we'll potentially get some more people from the beat on the show. Matthew says Beast is not fat. He's just big boned. Exactly. Rich says hit the like. Jay says Cody will be there with free stuff. That's right, Jay. I love that you know that's Cody. Very few people have picked up on that. Nick says, I'm writing an argument in school why Woody Johnson needs to sell the Jets. Well, good luck with that. Let's get to more of your calls in honor of the fact I'm wearing a T-shirt right now with his smelly face on it. First up in this segment is none other than Bob from Vermont.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. My smelly face has returned. Hi, Jake.
Hello, Bobby. How are you?
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Disgusting here in Vermont. I hate Vermont. I want to get out of Vermont.
Well, it's kind of gross here in New York, too. It's cold.
Well, I'd rather live in New York. You could do a lot more than you could do up here.
What would you be doing here? You get to New York, what are you doing?
Oh, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, next Tuesday. I can't wait till next Tuesday. I hopefully get the McDonald's out. So that would be good.
Now, what's the latest with Burger King? Isn't today when we find out?
No, it's next week. Remember, I told you she's still on vacation. The lady who interviewed me said she's still on vacation.
So is McDonald's today or tomorrow? I forget already.
Next week is McDonald's next Tuesday at 9:15 in the morning.
So we're just waiting. I got it.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
got 4 more days, and I could get a haircut before that. Then
why does it take so long to get a haircut? I don't understand.
well, I'll DM you personally. Okay.
No, I don't want you in my DMs. I want hot chicks in my DMs.
No, I want to tell you that I'm not going to say it on air. Okay.
Okay.
It's private between me and you.
Oh, is it?
Well, I don't want to spread my shit all over the place, you know.
Is it?
Just
Nate
don't
says
make
there's
sense.
one barber in the whole state of Vermont. Now it makes sense.
No, I know. Nate knows the reason why I didn't get my haircut. He knows the reason why.
Indy says, I hope Bobby never touches other people's food. He'll take a bite from each.
Oh, hi, Indy. How you doing? It's great to see you. You still in your shed, Indy? What you play in your shed, Indy? Okay.
Yeah.
Probably in your shed, drinking your beer. Hey, here's the Indy Jets. Yep. Okay. Yeah. At least I could talk. You sound like I don't know what. I don't care. No, Jake. Okay, I'll tell you the problem. I'll be honest with you, Jake.
You don't have to share on the show. It's okay.
My gambling problem.
Your gambling problem?
Mm-hmm.
Stop gambling, Bobby.
I know, I did. Nick wanted me to do DraftKings. You know, when you gamble, you have to ask for support, and they block you for a year. That's what I did.
So DraftKings shut down your account?
Yeah. So I don't go back to it.
Yeah, good. Stop spending all your weight loss money on gambling.
Well, the haircut money too. Metro Funny sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason, guys. That's the truth. The honest truth.
Dave says, Bobby, no gambling.
I know that, Burger. That just said I'm not doing it anymore. Thank you, Dave. Oh, Dave.
Matt says, Bobby gambles every time he farts.
Yep, that's true. I gamble. I gamble when they fart. Yeah, especially when I talk about. If we do that, no, I don't eat talk about it.
Jet Life says, gambling without working, diabolical.
I know. That's why I'm trying to get a part-time job. So no, I'm not gonna gamble anymore. I gave it up. I even gave up the $20 squares, so I gave that up. You know, Nick's 20 square thing. I didn't do that for the Super Bowl.
Mr. Bonesy in the house. He says Bobby can't get a haircut because he got Desiree knocked up and has to find a new barber.
Mr. Bonesy, I love you. I loved your daughter on Jake's show yesterday. She's so adorable. Tell her I said hello, and your wife. Tell your wife is wonderful.
Nate says, I knew that was Bobby at the craps table in Atlantic City last weekend.
Nah, I don't know. No, we don't. Nate, I love you too. Are you riding your bicycle this morning?
South Philly has gifted a membership, which means
That's
South
very
Philly
nice,
is in the raffle.
You must have been happy.
South Philly's gifted membership went to listener Veterans Fitness. Congrats to Veterans
That's
Fitness.
nice.
Wow,
I hope I get down there soon. That you're in fitness. I'm 56. No. I hope he's happy. He's Eagles.
I don't know if he's an Eagles fan. I think he just might live in.
Oh, okay. Thought he was an Eagles fan. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's a Jeff fan.
Matthew says you could probably win it all back and then some.
You could probably what? I'm not gambling anymore, Matthew. I got a year to go.
Yeah, that's the gambler's fallacy. You don't want to think that you're just one run away from winning it back.
No, that's where you get into trouble.
Right, like the trouble you're in, where you have no money.
Yeah, that's true. I'm the idiot. What can I tell you?
Yeah. Well, what was the dumbest bet that you placed?
The dumbest, but well, I do those pick six ones.
Oh, you're doing parlays? That was your problem.
No, pick six. You know, when you pick six people to like the basketball players or football players, they get like receiving, rushing, and that didn't work out. So. I got addicted to that, so I'm not addicted anymore. So I don't have to worry about that anymore.
What did you think of BMAC's call yesterday, Bobby?
My God. I was going to call him, but I puked. I didn't want to come in.
You puked?
Yep. And he's a liar. I don't think he did go to him at a strip club. Girls would put paper bags over his head.
I see.
You know, he's not good with women. Yeah, don't ever. He better not mention Jake Reyes in his mouth again.
Dave Brigger says, Bobby, what can we do helping you get employment? Can you do anything online if Burger King doesn't work out?
Well, I could do stuff online, but I want to get out into the public. I got McDonald's too. I think McDonald's is going to do great.
I think you're going to be offered both, or we're going to leverage both opportunities and get you more money.
But if I get the Tuesday one is McDonald's, and if they hire me, I'll take that because that's the morning shift. I'd rather do the morning shift than the Burger King night shift. I hate night shifts. I'm an old man. I don't like night shifts. I like day shifts.
Addison says any establishment will be lucky to add Bobby to their staff as maniacs and shiners for life. The legend Bobby Midnight is a great channel.
Oh yes. Can I plug my channel today, Jake?
I just plugged it for you. That was the point of the super chat.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I read it because Addison wrote it to plug it for you.
Oh yeah, I read. Okay, I just didn't want to step over you, so I need 192 subs to get to 500.
Everyone go subscribe.
And I'm not gonna do the stupidest thing, and then you know what happened to me.
Yeah, don't show any big black dongs on your channel.
No,
I think that's a good rule.
Well, I didn't recognize him. I really didn't recognize the guy.
You didn't recognize a big black penis?
No, he came in as a regular self first. You know, I saw his face. You know, so Nick is in the bathroom, going to the bathroom. He sees it on his phone, and he goes, "Oh no, Bobby, don't do it!" And it happened.
Yeah,
shut down right away.
Yeah, this is YouTube, not RedTube, Bobby. Got to remember that.
No, not RedTube. I know that. Now I know if I see that, I don't even remember his name. That was the big problem. Yep. Yeah, gotcha. All right, so I'll be on your second show. I'm gonna do a show after your show after this one, and then
I'm just never gonna get off then.
Okay, that's good. You have a fun.
I'm just gonna stay on for all. This show's just gonna be 24/7.
Well, do it 24/7. Do you ever do one of those?
No, but maybe today I will.
My friend Bad Dog does.
I just installed a catheter, so I never have to leave the chair now.
Yeah, well, no, Bad Dog at least goes to the bathroom and plays videos when he goes to that because he has to go.
Bad Dog,
my friend from Bad Dog, from New York. He's a Giant fan. He has his own channel, and he's up to over 100 and something thousand subscribers now, and he does Lakers. He likes the Yankees like we do. Yankees reported to spring training. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Bobby.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. You be good.
Farewell.
Well, you know, I need to find Matt O'Leary. He's supposed to come on my show. I want his butt on a stick. Bobby.
What a call from Bobby Midnight. Dave Brigger says if there's a Wegmans near Bobby, I could possibly help him. Are there Wegmans in Vermont, Bobby? I don't know. There's a Wegmans in Ithaca, New York that I would frequent back in my college years. Wegman sandwiches, tremendous. Many people are asking about a 24-hour live show. I can't rule it out. We would need a huge sponsor for that though, because it's not worth it to go live for that long. And we would need a charity component to it. Maybe we'll do it before the season starts, like a 24-hour like season preview type of thing. Gives us plenty of time to plan guests and for me to bring in co-hosts. Nick says, longest show you've ever done. Day 3 of the NFL draft, 7.5 hours. 3 Siblings says, the commercial revenue would generate. Not as much as you think, Jay, trust me. Not as much as you would think. You would need like a sponsor on top of that. Like, hey, SeatGeek, you want to sponsor the 24-hour Jake Asman show? And then I'd want to like, raise some money or something too. Let's find like a charitable cause that proceeds can go to. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. JT is up next on the Gusbuster Hotline. Hello, JT.
Yo, how we doing?
Nice shirt, JT. Mine arrived yesterday.
Let's go. Buckle up. I'm ready for it.
All right, I'm ready, man. I'm ready for more pain.
Beast, I don't know if you call it the private chat, but
was having a little fun with Beast, and I was trying to be funny, but he didn't think I was very funny.
Yeah, Beast doesn't always pick up on humor, so I think it's misinterpreted.
Yeah, I've caught that. And now that I decided to stop and work while I was waiting, he just thinks I'm like pissing my pants now and all. It's a great time. Well, I think his quarterback impersonation, it wasn't as strong as the baseball impersonation. He really got up there at that bat, personally, I thought, when he did the baseball swing.
Yeah, he had a great cut.
Yeah, there was no passion with this football one. I was a little upset, but I think people are still taking a little too hard on Aaron Glenn. I personally, like I've told you in the past, I agree with the Aaron Rodgers cut. I think it is the move. Because do you know how cap cuts work? Because like when Aaron Rodgers says he'll take a pay cut, doesn't that just get pushed a little further down the line?
Not if he redid his contract.
It doesn't get pushed further down the line. It doesn't just clear up cap for this season. Because I thought I read that somewhere.
Well, his cap hit this year is low. It's $23 million. Like the original contract was structured where they'd have this 3-year silo of him not costing a lot, and it was after that there'd be issues. Now there was going to be a dead cap charge no matter what, but it'd be lowered, right? If instead of $63 million next year, if it was 40 spread out over 2 with the cap going up 20 to 25% every year, like you see how that's very manageable.
Yeah, I guess. I just think that sorry, it's like lagging a little bit on my end. Am I good?
You're a little delayed, but we hear you.
Okay. Yeah, like it's the YouTube's actually freaking out, but as long as I'm here, okay. But yeah, I think personally, and what do you think of the receiving report? Do you believe some of that, like the McAfee parts and all that?
I don't think that was the thing that was like the deal breaker. I believe what Peter Schrager said, that the Jets had their minds made up before they even met with him in person.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. I think the Pat McAfee had a little bit to play into it because when he goes on that show, all it does is creates headlines for us, and that's not what we need with the new regime. A team that it's still pretty much a young team. We don't have a lot of vets. You know what I mean? So I think it is the right move. Personally, that's just my opinion on the Rodgers situation. I think it is the right move. I'd love to pivot to Jameis Winston. I believe it was Nick brought that up earlier.
Yeah, Winston, I think, has moved to number 1 of my choices.
Me too. He can sling it, and I mean, if we get the right coaching staff in there, maybe we can coach up the turnover issue, help him with the decision making. Maybe we'll make some better decisions. He's got an arm.
I don't know. He kind of is what he is, but I'll take it. You give me Jameis Winston and Tyrod Taylor. I don't think they're going to be able to get Fields, so Winston's moving up.
Yeah, I was a Fields Tyrod fan, but now I'm kind of leaning towards a Winston and Tyrod battle in training camp. If he can stay healthy, Tyrod is a good option, I think, personally. The few reps he had this season didn't look bad either. Like, San Fran starters were still in there, and he led a touchdown drive in his only drive in San Fran. And then he led a touchdown drive in the only other game he came into this season. So I think it's definitely I think if he can stay away from injuries, Tyrod's still a good option. But I would love a battle with him and Winston personally.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no great option out there. That's just the reality of all of it.
Gotcha. All right, Jake, buckle up. Put your seatbelts on. You ready for the ride? Because we're built for this shit.
Well, you know what, JT? I'm tired of this shit, so I hope Aaron Glenn is the guy. Tom Ace wants to know what's JT doing in Kyle Clifton's home. A great question. An excellent question. Let's see. Right now, there's 534 of you in here. Have all 534 of you hit the subscribe button? I don't think so. So quick reminder, do that. By the way, if you want that Aaron Glenn shirt that JT was wearing, the AGHC shirt, jakeasman.com/shop. Get hats, t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, Charles Gorman tank tops, coffee mugs. You name it, we have it. From North Jersey writes in, all the Jets need is a quarterback and O-line. If they draft right, Jets will be really good next year. You did your rebuilding last year. Ladies and gentlemen, today's dumbass comment of the day is brought to you by North Jersey.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? All we need is a quarterback and an O-line because it's so easy. But okay. If you say so. Jet Life Green says, we are cooked, man. We're built for this shit, man. Aaron Glenn said so. Just got to win games now. That'd be nice. Rick Kent says, it's time to start my day. Rick, I hope you have a great day. Indy says, what's the bounty on having a 24-hour show? I couldn't even tell you, Indy. I couldn't even tell you. That's a huge commitment. And I'll have to, the timing would have to make sense too. That's why I think closer to the season would be good. Cody says the plan is 4-win, guys. All right. If you ask me right now, I would say, yep, this is probably about a 4-win team. Bomber says, all we need is me at QB1. All right, Bomber, we'll call in again, and we'll see how you look. There is like something going on outside my building right now. There's like a ambulance and cop car and all these sirens going off. Very distracting. Anyway, let's say hello to Jason in Jerusalem. He's up next. Hey, Jason.
Hi, we're distracted with ambulances and fire, and cop cars. So let me go to the guy in Jerusalem for some sanity there.
Let's go to a guy who knows those sounds very well. Jason in Jerusalem.
Back to the North Jersey comment. A good football team, to be a good football team, you need a good offense, a good defense, and a good special teams. And I'm happy to say the Jets have all but 3 of those things.
Also, if you want to win games in the NFL, you have to score more points than the other team.
Yeah. One day a coach on the press conference, he says, hey, coach, what went wrong? They scored more than we did. Why don't they just answer very, very straight like that? Anyway, Jake, first of all, kudos to you. It's a pleasure to be along for the ride. Seeing you before you started on YouTube, when you were on, when I would catch you on Twitter, back when you had, what was it, Mad North Sports Radio, when I first caught you, before you started doing the Jet shows.
Is that where you heard me for the first time?
Yeah, I first called you in from Jerusalem about a question about the drafting of the Arizona Cardinals, because nobody else in the division had any draft picks for 2 years.
Was that, are you sure it wasn't my Houston show on?
No, it was before you even moved to Houston.
Oh, so I wasn't on Sirius yet then. So it had to have been maybe Sports on the Go 1?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that was an internet station where I was just getting some reps on the side. Yeah, maybe you go back a long way, and that's wild.
And now here you are giving Bobby Midnight, you're being a mentor to him and telling him what to do on YouTube to make sure that he succeeds on his show, what he can show and what he can't show.
Well, I'm telling him to not gamble as well. That seems like a problematic situation there.
Yeah, I mean, you're a mentor for all, Jake.
I try, Jason. Thank you.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Appreciate it.
Who do you think is available in the trade market? Somebody like Jake Browning, for example, somebody who's stuck as a QB2, who you can get for a 4th or 5th. I mean, I keep on thinking about when Dan Quinn was about to take the Jets job, and the Jets didn't hire him because Seattle ended up, going to the conference game, and the Jets are like, all right, well, we'll just get Bowles then. And the story was Dan Quinn said he was going to go to Washington and offer a 4th for Cousins at the time. That's what he said in his interview, if you remember. So obviously when Glenn and Muji were interviewed, they gave a plan for who's going to be the QB this year. Who do you think, if they went the trade route? Obviously Hooker was mentioned because of his connection with Detroit. What do you think about a guy like Browning on Cincy?
Well, I don't know why they would necessarily trade him, though. Like, why would they trade their good backup when Burrow's got a history of being hurt?
Oh, because you have a backup who has 1 year left, who's probably not going to. How many years does he have left of his contract? Probably 1 year left. And then why does he want to stay as a backup when he could explore his options?
Is Jake Browning that much better of an option than someone you could just sign for money off the street and not trade any draft capital? He's under contract for several more years, though. I'm looking at it here. He was what pick was he?
He would have had a 4-year contract.
Yeah, I don't know if he was drafted, but he's only been in the league for 2 years, so he signed.
Usually guys like that, even if you offered them a 4th, they think that it's worthwhile.
I wouldn't trade a 4th for him.
Conditional 4th?
I would just sign someone else. I don't think he's that much better than the alternatives that are in free agency.
I mean, his starts in Cincy, he's thrown for over 300 yards twice.
I mean, he also has a pretty good setup there, though. I mean, he had 2 or 3 all-pro level, definitely 2 all-pro level receivers, a running game, an offensive coach, pretty good O-line.
Well, what do you think about you? He's definitely doing better with that offense than a Jameis Winston would do with that offense.
Would he, though? I don't know. And Jameis Winston, to me, is kind of around what Browning would be. I don't have incredibly high hopes for either.
Yeah, Winston, you're going to get 700 yards and twice as many picks as touchdowns.
It's typically not twice as many, but it is a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, and you're up by 3 and just need to run out the clock, and he'll throw a pick 6.
He might, yes. He also might win you some games by throwing for 400 yards, though. That's like the whole experience.
Yeah, he's Favre without the magic.
He's like Ryan Fitzpatrick, basically. So maybe Winston could have that 2015 Fitzpatrick season. That'd be the hope. Or he doesn't play because Tyrod's more stable and beats him out.
There's a chance Tyrod doesn't even make the opening day roster with his contract.
You think they cut him?
Now, obviously not. But if they can bring him into training camp and then see how things play out. And if you have better options, they can cut him. The idea that and to go back, I knew Rodgers wasn't coming back. I told you on your show, on multiple shows. Didn't say that I wanted it that way, but I read the tea leaves. You hire a Parcells guy who was never big into the quarterback being the head guy on the team. You hire Muji, who's learned how to deal with the cap of Russell Wilson hits, the Russell Wilson cap hit. The tea leaves were there that Rodgers was gone. And I'm just happy that they didn't drag it on for us. And it was nice to see you, hitting your Jets puberty there and seeing what it was truly like to see the pain of a Jets fan on you on Sunday. I remember those days, Jake.
I mean, I've been angry about this team all year. That wasn't the first time. Have you watched some of these?
No, but not like that.
Go back and watch the New England post game, or
oh yeah, that one was bad.
Go back and watch the Steelers post game. There were a lot. Denver was the angriest I was all year, though. I was in a tuxedo because I had my friend's wedding that night that I was 2 hours late for because of that shit game. I've been way more angry than that. I didn't think Rodgers would be brought back. I don't agree with it, but I've been angry before.
Do you remember when Summers used to have like Jets therapy after a Sunday loss when he had the midday show with Salzburg?
No, I never really caught Steve.
Do you not remember that?
I never really listened to Steve and Russ.
Okay, because he used to have a thing. I remember when they lost that Garrison Hurst 91-yard touchdown run. It's like back to Jets therapy.
98. Yeah, I mean that's life as a fan, man. Like these post game shows become therapy sessions.
They sure do. Anyway, Jake, keep it up. It's beautiful to see your growth and where you've come and where you're going. And like I said, keep giving out great advice to the up and comers like Bobby.
I appreciate it. By the way, Gator has a comment for you. He says your headphones make you look like the Jewish Princess Leia.
Well played, Gator. I love a good joke. 10 out of 10. Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason in Jerusalem. Good call from Jason. I would say the angriest I was this year was after the Broncos game or the second Patriot game. My holy, trade Tyrod wide. I mean, I'd keep him. His contract's low. He's a solid bet. Well liked. Kyle Clifton says Tyrod more likely to be traded than cut. Well, because you could probably get something for Tyrod. Like a lot of teams would value him as a backup. I need more coffee. Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, trying out for QB1 of the Jets is Bomber, and he's next up on the line. Hello, Bomber.
Whew. I'm getting ready, baby. You see that?
Right.
You see that form? I'm ready, Jake. All we need is to relax and just let me start at QB1. I'm playing like Willie Beeman, baby.
It's weird seeing you not calling in from the strip club, Bomber.
That's on the weekends, man.
Yeah, but yesterday you called in. It was like a Tuesday.
I had to handle some business, man.
I
handle
see.
some business.
Can you
man.
give us give us a little snap under center, a little cadence, and the whole thing, drop back?
See that release? And I'm a right hand. You see that release, baby?
I'm sold.
Listen, man. I think we're gonna be okay, man. This is no time to panic, and there's a lot of options out there for us. And I feel like Justin Fields possibly is one of great options. If we can trade for Murray, let's get him. Out of the quarterbacks of this draft class is kind of, really, it's really up to the coaches and the judges. I mean, staffing on that point. I don't think we should trade up for Cam Ward. I think we should trade back and acquire more picks, because that's what I will be willing to do. I want more players, that's willing to build with this roster moving forward for the future. But when it comes to the quarterback out of this class, I'm still going to say Jackson Dart is one of the names that stands out the most for me. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think?
Bomber, thanks for the call. I mean, watching Bomber there, you could just smell the 4 wins oozing off of him. It was amazing. NYJ Pod has gifted 5 channel memberships.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
The following 5 people are now channel members. That's 5 entries into the raffle for NYJ Pod as well. Jason Sargis, Jordan L., Mr. OC Mosky 3, Luigi J. Congrats to all. Tiff also receiving a membership. Love it. Love it. Jackson Davis writes in, all you people who gave Bob from Vermont money got scammed. You should learn your lesson. Well, this is exactly why I only gave Bob a portion of his weight loss money. I owe him $10 a pound. I've only given him like 30% of that because he's a degenerate gambler and we can't allow him to lose all his money. So I'm glad DraftKings shut down his account, according to him. Dicker the Kicker says the aroma of 4 wins. Oh, yeah. JD says, it's kind of funny how this guy's name is JD Surf City, and he's talking about Joe Douglas, the other JD. JD spent more time getting excited over trading picks than making them. I mean, the one thing Douglas did well was navigate the draft board, to be fair. He just didn't hit on enough picks outside of the top 40. And some of the picks he missed in the top 2 or 11, like his first 2 drafts, it was Becton and Wilson's first 2 first-round picks. It's not good. Nick Shine has the confirmation email that Bobby is shut down from any online or in-person gambling for life. Now, is that just at DraftKings or that's all sportsbooks, though? Like, what's stopping Bob from Vermont for just opening up a FanDuel account? Or Underdog or any of these other gaming accounts. John says, going back to Circa for the draft. The plan is to do a draft party, John. I'm working on it. I don't have anything finalized yet. I'm in talks. But we will have something for the draft, people. I'm going to get through the combine here, then the draft becomes a focus. Nick says, any and all online apps. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, calling back in immediately and flailing his arms like this to try and get on and explain his degenerate gambling is none other than Bobby Midnight.
Oh, I like the Yankees and the Jets. Can't believe Jake and Rodgers met. I'm more than just a hat on Bobby.
No, that's the guy I want to talk to. He wants to call in and talk to me. He called me a scammer. So, Jackson Doc, call in. You say you want to talk to me. Let's have a rumble.
Jackson Dart's not going to call in. He's getting ready for the draft.
No, he got to get in here. Yesterday.
No, he's not in here. He doesn't watch the show. He's getting ready for the combine and then the draft.
No, I don't care. He said he wants.
No, you should care. Jackson Dart does not watch the show.
How you know that?
Because he's not watching the show right now. He's never commented. He's getting ready for the draft.
He did that yesterday. He called me out. He says, I'm going to call in when you call in. I waited to call in.
No, you're being punked by a fake Jackson Dart.
No, it's the same one.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Now, there's no Jackson Dart, but there is a Jackson Davis.
Jackson Davis, that's the one, yeah. Dart is the quarterback. Oh, okay, gotcha. That Jackson Davis, yeah, that's the guy right there. I want him to call on. Come on, I'm ready for you to rumble. Let's go. You X me, you got me.
Jackson Davis writes in, scam artist, it's Davis, you fool.
I don't give a crap, Davis. I want you to come on, and you wanted to give it to me? Give it to me. I'm waiting for you.
Now, do you think you scammed your listeners of sending you money?
No, I did not. Sometimes it maybe. Forget about it. I'm not asking for any more money now. Don't worry about it.
Well, to be fair,
yeah.
Once people pay you for the weight loss, there was no rule that said that you couldn't spend it how you wanted to spend it. I don't think you did anything wrong with.
No, I'm doing it the right way.
contract.
I'm not doing the I don't want to. I want to do it naturally. I don't need that thing. I already have to take my shots for my diabetes. I don't want to take that other thing like Neil suggested. I don't want to touch that. I want to do it.
Why are you talking about Ozempic? We're just simply talking about you losing weight.
Oh, I know that's part of the plan. I can't use that to lose the weight. I got to do it natural.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I don't want that. That's even Nick said put that in there. I know. I totally agree.
We just want you to lose weight, but I mean, you have a right to spend the money how you want.
The natural way, yes. Yeah, I don't need that crap. I like to eat healthier. Yeah.
So just to clarify here, Jackson Davis said that everyone who gave you money should learn their lesson. Do you agree with him?
No. Goodbye, Jackson. You want to come on? I was waiting to come on yesterday, but B-Mac was on. Let's go.
Jackson Davis wrote scam.
Okay, you're a scammer. You just like to type. You remember the guy gave you a hard time yesterday, Jake? Called him a chicken.
Oh, yeah. That guy never called in.
People. I know, chicken people. They like to be the king of the warriors on their typing.
John writes in, Bobby Madoff.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the guy that's Ponzi guy? Yeah, I'm not that bad, I don't think. So, I have a problem. I don't care. I'm not gambling anymore. Nothing. No more.
Jackson Davis just wrote, you smell too much, gamble without a job with other people's money, scam.
All right. Yeah, shut the fuck up, okay?
Whoa.
Well, I'm pissed off at this guy. Jake, people who type about you and I, just have no life. I can't wait till I get my part-time job.
You have to get the job first.
Yeah, I think I might get the McDonald's. I worked there down in Massachusetts. So a little bit later to my license, which was stupid because how am I supposed to pay my child support? But
Larry Romano writes, and Bobby made off with all our money.
Larry, you never gave me money, so Larry, bye. I know Ray Romano. He's a very nice guy.
You know him?
Yeah, we met him at Jet Stadium one time. Remember when they were closing down? They had the last game down there. They closing down the old stadium. He came in with his sons and his friends on the bus. And I walked over to him. I said, Michael, look who's got off the bus. And they said, oh, look who it is. It's Ray Romano. And we went over there, shook his hand. And I said, I loved your wife on your show. She was hot. Very pretty lady. Bobby is the wolf of... No, I want to be McDonald's. I think McDonald's is better for me. The day job is much better.
Joey B says, Doge is going after Bobby. Elon Musk watching this.
Who's Doge? What's that?
Doge.
Who's Doge?
Doge.
Joey, explain yourself. Thank you. Is that he's sticking up for me or against me?
He's against you. He's basically saying you're frauding listeners, so Elon's going to clean it up.
Oh, who is Elon Musk?
He's the part of the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
Oh, I never heard of Elon Musk. Sorry.
Never heard of him?
Nah.
He's got a lot of money. If you robbed him, you would have a lot of money to gamble with.
No, I'm not gambling anymore. It's like addicting. Like
Ladies and gentlemen, for more information on Bobby's gambling habits, we say hello to Nick Shine. Hello, Nick.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? How are you? Good
Hi,
morning.
Nick.
All right. So I just sat down at work like 5 minutes ago. Why is he being attacked and called a scam artist? Give me this info. Fill me in here first.
Yeah, essentially, Bobby said on the show that he had a gambling issue, which is why he didn't get a haircut. The DraftKings account was shut down, and then Jackson Davis, not Jackson Dart, who's getting ready for the combine. He just wrote in, all you people who gave Bob from Vermont money got scammed. You should learn your lesson. And that's what started this.
Well, a couple things first to clarify. Not much money. A lot of people, myself included, have not sent any money. We're waiting for the conclusion of it. So it's not like the money that was going to him is gone out. He's owed about $2,500 right now. He's only been paid a very, very small amount. And the waiver that he signed, I did it for a year last March. You can sign for a year, 5 years, or for life. Bob chose to do it for life. There is no more online gambling anywhere. You cannot download any app. You cannot. If you go into a casino and you win $10,000 and you walk up to the table and they ask you for ID to cash out, they take the money back, refund you, and escort you out. You basically have put yourself on the self-exclusion list. He can't download an app. You can't even log in. I have FanDuel because my issue was with this DraftKings Rocket game, a multiplier. Most addicting thing I've ever had in my life. But I'll still do sports bets here and there, you know. So I can't log into FanDuel. It says you cannot log in. You are not allowed to. So nothing has been sent to Bob. He hasn't spent all of his winnings. But Jake, when you are at the combine, if you could get Jackson Dart on and interview him about his takes on Bobby, that would be some amazing content.
I made the wrong. I meant Davis.
Jackson, you're getting ready for the combine. We know you watched the Jake Asman show. Do you still feel like everyone who gave money to Bobby was scammed?
Can we email Muji and Glenn if they get Dart in the room? Ask them thoughts on Bobby's gambling and would you be a DraftKings promotion?
Muji.
So Bobby's never allowed to place a sports bet for the rest of his life.
He cannot do it. No, he can't gamble at all. He will never be able to log into any app of any kind.
I thought it was for a year.
No, you chose for life. I have the email confirmation.
Okay, for life. Okay, I didn't know.
That's what you get for not reading the fine print. You helped yourself.
Oh yeah, you do it. Well, I'm
not
a lawyer. I don't read that. Okay,
yeah, the fine print is tricky. It's tricky.
Now, is it true you're also on the no-fly list? That's what South Philly said.
No fly list. I can fly, South Philly.
Can you fly? All right, run around your apartment right now. Flying.
No, I'm not flying. No,
prove it.
Flap your wings. Flap your wings. It's like the air guitar, but only out to the side.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing
Pretend you're a hawk in Australia.
No, I'm not doing that.
Justin says there's got to be a bookie in Vermont.
I don't think there's any bookie in Vermont.
I don't think there's any.
Say hello to Michael, everybody. Come on, Michael. Say hello to everybody.
Oh, yes. Mikey.
Got your present for the meal.
Mikey.
Hey, sit down, Michael. Just say hello to everybody.
Yeah, I got the Jets hat.
Okay, sit down.
There it is.
Jets.
Oh, you saying your jet hat too? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you got the hat I sent. Love it.
You know who's going to be the quarterback? They're going to get Justin Fields.
Michael, who else is on?
Mikey, are you ready for this team to win 4 games next year? Can't wait.
No, Jets will be 12-5.
12-5. What are you smoking?
Say hello to Nick Shine, Michael.
Because, you know, hi, Nick Shine, too. I just wanted to let you know the Jets, Glenn has the Jets come. We're going to be the best team in football next year.
No, let's just.
I hope you're right, Mikey, but I think the drugs are hitting extra hard today.
No,
He doesn't do drugs.
No, I love the Jets. I know
do the
this,
Hawaii.
this is a new machine. We got the homeboy we needed. And plan for the other mother I love.
Mikey, what color suspenders you have on today?
Oh,
blue.
Oh, those look good, buddy.
Yeah, I look
You're
handsome.
styling and profiling like Ric Flair.
Yeah, I think it's blue.
No, it's black.
I think it's black. Yeah, it's black, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, guess what? I'm having a good day today.
Awesome.
And you know who's going to be in the Super Bowl next year together?
Who?
The Jets and Detroit Lions. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Mikey, can you help us out with something?
Yeah.
While you're there, can you go check the mail area to see if Bobby has a package there? Gator sent him a microphone, and it might be outside by the mail, and Bob's having some
I checked
difficulty.
the mail, but the key, the mail king want to open it.
Oh,
You having
man.
trouble putting it in the hole?
No, because I think we got frost last night, and it always that thing.
No, the key when the mailman put it in the mailbox.
And then the big box. Yeah.
Well, call the mailman. He
Yeah.
might come soon. He comes noon time, right? What time
No,
is
I
it?
think he comes around 2:00.
I think he came early last time.
Okay, about one.
Bobby always comes early.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, guess what? This is true. And you know what? The Knicks go win the playoffs. Go be in the playoffs. The Knicks, right? The Knicks don't
championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, Knicks are gonna do good.
Yeah,
this
they're
year.
gonna be good.
And
this
then
year.
St. John's. Don't
And
forget
St. John's. You like the St. John's guys?
Yes, he does.
Hey, Mikey,
Yeah.
do you sports bet at all?
No.
I do the game.
All right, make sure that your brother doesn't sneak on your phone and start betting. All right.
No, he knows, fella.
I know.
He had to start saving so we could see the Jets beat the Patriots.
That's it. Jake, we have a very unique dynamic here with the Woodruff brothers. Mikey's the drinker, Bobby's the gambler, but they're both womanizers. They both share that one.
Oh,
I
yes.
like girls.
We
Everybody
love
loves
girls,
me.
yes.
They wanted to
Yeah.
I take good care of me. I said, oh, I should take care of you ladies instead.
Yeah. What about the girls
You
met
show
up-
the ladies those suspenders, Mikey. You'll have your choice.
Yeah,
Well, you dance with them.
I like Jen Graves too.
Jane Graves. Yeah.
Jen Graves. I talked to her on Nick Shine show.
Yeah, the other night.
Yes,
Monday
she's
night.
a very pretty girl.
Hi guys.
Hey, Grace.
Jen Graves, I love you.
Do you make it to
Hi,
work?
Mikey. No, we have a snow day, so I don't get paid today.
Stinks.
And all the roads are clear.
And why did they cancel school then? I thought,
I don't know. They canceled school, and they cancel school. Our clinic typically cancels all the sessions. So
You should get paid. You work for the school,
he
right?
works for
No,
the special kids that she has to be there.
Oh,
yep, it's because of with their insurance. So if I'm not directly
Yeah.
in contact with them, I don't get paid. So
Right? No, that's
Sucks.
understandable.
A jet set.
But that's,
thanks.
so
Yeah.
is your cats around you, Mister?
Actually, they both are. Let's see. Here's Mayhem,
That's Mayhem.
Oh.
And then we
and
have,
then Mischief.
yeah.
You saw my cat, Ophelia?
No, I don't think you showed her yet.
I don't. Yeah, no.
When you come on the show
Yeah.
again, I'll show you my cat. And
What's
then
the weather for
she likes-
Saturday?
She loves Detroit Lions.
What's the weather for
She's a
Saturday?
Detroit Lions. The weather's gonna be snowing all day.
Okay, well, you stay home and come on.
Yeah, I'll come on your show
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Yeah, that's
They
good.
didn't want me to drive in this crazy weather, my friends. They gonna tie me down on the chair so I don't go outside. Yeah.
Mr. Boney says that Bobby wasted all his money on hookers and drugs. I wouldn't be mad, but gambling on who scores first.
No,
LOL.
I like Jane Graves. I do like
Yes,
Jane.
she's very pretty.
I love you guys too.
I thought she had a boyfriend, Bob.
Not right now. I'm single.
Beautiful girl like you don't have a boyfriend. The
I'm
guys
just
are
busy.
crazy. I think there's some guys are like other guys, I guess.
Yeah, well, if we moved to New Jersey, we could be closer to her.
You live in New Jersey?
Yes.
I do.
Next
We
to
got to
the
get
Jets
out of
game?
Vermont. We got to get out of Vermont.
Next to Jet Stadium?
No, I live down by the Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jersey Shore. Yeah, where
yeah,
Clancy lives.
And then you could Rose. We could visit Rose too.
Rosa's on there too?
Not too far, New Jersey. She lives in Pennsylvania. Like,
Oh, yeah. Okay, Poconos.
Yeah, not too far.
Just relax, Michael.
Yeah, we love you guys. Yeah, I love Jake Asman, not in the gateway, and
Mikey
I
got
love Nick Shine, not in the
Dick the
gateway.
Kicker says Mikey got charisma.
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
he loves people. Trust me.
Yeah, you know, Aaron Grant is my brother for the other mother.
Nate, you're awful.
I know, Bobby. I heard a house for rent across the street from. I would like to get an apartment, not a
Why
house.
is it so expensive, Bobby? New Jersey, expensive.
We are expensive.
Well, you want to still.
Aaron Rodgers came in for the apartment in New Jersey. Yeah, bought a house. It's
Joey B says Mikey got more game than 80% of the chat. I agree with that.
Mikey should give BMAC lessons. BMAC
Yeah,
could learn a lot from Mikey.
I talk to him.
Mikey does not hit women.
I know he hit women. I love women. I love giving them hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
I love hugs. I've had a Mikey hug. I can confirm Mikey hugs are amazing.
Yeah, I used to work at Smith's Medical Center. I like this girl named Debbie. She's taller than me.
Yes,
I
right.
hugged her. She gave me a hug, but right on the boobies.
Yeah, that's why he came up with her. He came up to her boobies.
Yeah.
He got a boobie.
But she said, "Are you question making?" Yeah, because your things was
We're
my
small.
face.
We're 5'2" and 5'3", so he came up to her.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jen, you're so pretty.
Oh, thank you, Mikey. You guys are very handsome.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I
if
gotta get a
you-
haircut.
If you was my wife, I'll take good care of you every
And
day.
you cook for her, right?
Yeah, cook
And clean the house
I'll
for
clean
her.
your house for free.
Me too.
Yeah.
Just a
Oh, you
bed.
guys are the best.
You too. Yo, I'm Jake Gassman show too.
Yeah, this is Jake Asman
Yeah,
show,
Yep,
right?
this is Jake show. Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Jake 4 wins Asman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you think? I have to.
I like
come to
Jake
a
Gassman. Tell everybody who doesn't like Jake Gassman, we got 2 words for you. Suck it.
That's right.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like the
That's
Triple
right.
H always say.
Yes, yes.
Triple H always says
Next
that.
generation.
Yeah, I like Triple H.
And
It's time to play the game.
yeah, and Shawn Michaels and
You know who wants to fight the Jets? The guy Jake Asman was talking to at the New Orleans.
Which one?
The Jet guy. It started last name.
John says when the
V.
family
It starts-
show
last
turns
name starts
into
with
the
me.
Make
V
Your
or
Family
something?
show. That's nice. Thank you, John,
Yeah,
for giving
ask
Jake
Jake.
that.
I forgot to ask Jake what was his name.
Jake who?
He wanted to fight the Jets. The guy
Oh,
Jake had on. It's pretty cool. I said, buy the Jets. And Woody Johnson could retire.
he could buy the Jets.
Yeah.
Who's
I must have missed that one.
Why
Mickey
he's a
makes
Jets fan.
great grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
Mikey, do you make real great cheese sandwiches?
Yeah, I make good, great cheese sandwiches.
What do you use? Butter?
Yeah,
or
mayo or butter?
mayo?
I like
Mayonnaise.
mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is best.
I've heard it makes it crispier.
Oh,
I
it
have
tastes
heard
a
that.
lot better than butter.
I don't know, but I love my butter.
I
I
make
do
good
too.
spaghetti and meatballs. You like spaghetti?
Oh,
and
he
meatballs?
makes.
I
good
do.
I
But
bring it
I'm an Italian food snob. I'm gonna tell you right now, so I might be judging it.
What you like? What you like?
He's
well,
Italian.
Oh yeah,
I make my own Italian food.
make the best meatballs in the whole world.
Okay, I got a question for you, Jake Graves.
What's up?
How do you say manigot? Manigot or manicotti? How are you saying?
We call it manigot.
That's
So-
what I thought. Really?
Well-
With that.
It actually depends because the way Italy was made, it wasn't a sovereign country until like 200 years ago. So
Okay.
different areas do say it differently. It's only in America that we argue about it.
Yeah.
But yes, we say manigot. And we
Yeah,
make ours
but
with crepes. We don't make
Olive
noodles.
Garden says Olive Garden says manicotti. I said no.
That's
I know.
fake Italian food. That's not even real
Oh,
Italian
they don't
food.
make the
You know
chicken
who-
parmesan.
You
good.
know who
Their breadsticks with Alfredo sauce is fire.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
You know who
Yeah.
has the good breast sticks? Cheese sticks was Price Chopper. Whoa,
Oh, Price Chopper, yeah.
They make good cheese sticks.
Cheese.
It's 30
Like
cents.
mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, they make 30 cents. 30 cents apiece.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just turned in. What happened? I walked into.
It's the Woodruff show right now.
Yeah. Well, Michael came in. I was talking to Jake and
tell
Nick.
Jake I'm sorry to interrupt his show.
No, Jake loves you.
Yeah, I love Jake too. I love Jake. Not in the game way, but I give him a hug anyway.
Yes, he did. When
Yeah.
we went down there, we swore him at the
And
game.
I could get a hug to Nick. I love him. Not in the game way.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to what's his name? What's his name? You talk to what's his name for me?
Who's that?
But that guy.
Which guy?
Addison.
Oh, Addison, yeah. Addison's in the
he's my
chat.
buddy, yeah,
he's going to be on the show today when I do this.
Tell him I love him. Not in the game. I tried to reach my phone yesterday, but I was in the car. I can't drive the car when I answer the phone.
Right.
Right. That's safe. You want to be safe.
And be careful tonight, crappy weather.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow 10 o'clock. I should be home by then.
Well, up here it starts a little earlier.
Oh, they say, because I talked to my supervisor, Rob. He said it starts at 10 o'clock tonight.
Well, I don't
watch out for the black ice, too. It might be cold and icy, so.
It's snowy.
Well, someone would drive me home, they said.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know Rob will.
Yeah, Michael just does not. Mikey equals the coolest suspenders in Vermont. Yes.
You know, they gave me my supervisor's wife gave me
what?
A New York Rangers name. Put it around your neck and you put your name tag on it.
Oh, cool.
They give me a Jets one too.
Oh, like a keychain.
Yeah, and she knows I love the Jets, the Rangers, and the Knicks.
Yeah, and the Mets.
And Detroit Lions now because of my kitty cat.
Yeah, we love
Yep.
They got snubbed out.
Yeah, if was 100 girls in the room and you were there next to them, I chose you.
Me too.
Aw, thank you, boys.
You're welcome. Oh, I like to be club boys. I think boys.
Boys to men. Boys
I call everybody boy. I call my dad, my brother, the boys. I
know.
call
I
them
like boys. I don't want to be. I know I'm an old man, but I think a boy.
Hey, Nick Shine. I saw Nick
I like good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby. Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. What an incredible rendition there, or addition there, for the Bobby Midnight Show featuring Mikey Midnight. Jay Graves calling in, just made Mikey Midnight's year. Nick Shine goes, Bobby, any YouTube show suggestions after Jake? The Bobby Midnight channel. Jay Graves is still on the line. Jay Graves, I hope you enjoyed your one-on-one with the Woodruffs.
I did. Thank you. That was wonderful. Anytime I can talk to those boys, I enjoy it.
It was an incredible moment. It was an honor just to sit back and watch it all unfold.
I do actually have some Jets takes as well.
All right.
Because I haven't called you since you got big mad on Sunday. I will say I was not expecting that, Mr. 4 wins.
I smell the 4 wins, baby.
I mean, I was saying
It
like on
smells
Nick's show
just as
tonight.
bad as that room that the Woodruffs are probably in right now.
With that raccoon they have too.
God.
Like, so I get people being disappointed and stuff, but how many people are so mad? Like, I will be mad if when all this unfolds, we find out the plan, I think it's stupid, then I'll be super pissed. But right now, I feel like I have nothing to be pissed at yet. I mean, I think I told them on record saying I wanted Aaron back because as I look at the landscape of quarterbacks, it's just pathetic. So now you're more team Jamian than team Fields, but that's because you think we won't get Fields. Is that why?
You mean Jameis?
Winston. Yeah, Jameis Winston.
I like Jameis because I think he's more realistic. I think someone's gonna give Fields more money than the Jets are gonna want to give to someone that's not guaranteed a spot.
Yeah, I think not that we're still a dumpster fire, but like he's already had a bad experience in Chicago. Why would he want to come here and have another bad one? So I feel like if I were him, I'd kind of stay away from us. But
I just think it's money. he'd go to the Jets because they say, "Hey, we'll pay you the most," but he might look at like the Titans or the Giants could throw him $10 million. Like I don't know if the Jets
That's
want to do
true.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I am definitely Team Fields, but if we get Winston, I mean, I won't be super mad, but I'm not looking forward to all the interceptions that he's
We
going to
score
throw.
points. There'd be games
He
where we could
would.
actually watch offense. I just don't want to
And
go back to
he,
the Zach Wilson 9 touchdowns in the season.
and you know, if he were getting W's, the entire Jet Nation is going to be eating W's every Sunday. I mean, I will. I don't care. I'll be
If
eating
he got
those
out to a good
W's.
start, could you imagine how much fun it'd be if Winston got out to a good start?
Right? I mean, let's just pray that something good happens. But yeah, like I said, I'm not mad yet. I am reserving judgment to be mad because I'm sure they'll piss me off at some point during the offseason, but just not yet.
Get ready
That's
for
all I
Kirk
got for you,
Cousins
Jake.
at quarterback. It's going to be
I will throw up in my mouth if that
it's going to be an
happens.
incredible. They're going to be like, well, he cost no money and second year off the Achilles. Get ready. That's the spin.
Basically, the Walmart Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Great. Can't wait. All right, Jake. Well, thanks for having me, and thank you for that amazing Woodruff Show moment you gave me.
Jay Graves, you provided us with the incredible moment. Thanks for calling in. What a moment in time. Nick Shine is also still on the line. Hello, Nick.
Hey, but timing is everything in life, huh? Timing is everything.
Really is.
Come on the show. We're
Now, there was
discussing
a
Bobby, and Mikey walked in.
Unreal. Now, there was a moment during that call, though, where they referenced you, and I threw you back up there, but your internet was frozen, so I don't know if you even know.
I left. What was said? I left to go back.
And they
YouTube
were just like, yeah, Mikey was like, I love Nick Shine. And I was like, I just put you up there, but you were frozen, so then I quickly took you off.
I love Mikey. Mikey sober might be a top 5 living person. He's tremendous. It's always high energy. It's always positivity. It's always putting a smile on everyone's face. And he's awesome. We need more Mikey in the world. And I love that his suspenders are thicker than the stripes on a highway. I love how thick the fucking suspenders are on him. And he's basically a white Urkel. He's got them up to his nipples, the pants. It's fantastic.
Mikey's what Bobby was when he first started calling the show years ago. Like he hasn't been corrupted yet.
He's great. He's great. And you know what? He brings Bobby's mood and energy up too. So that's fantastic. So awesome.
Just wait till he starts. Just make sure that Bobby doesn't sneak into his phone and start gambling, though.
Oh, speaking of gambling, I have a prop bet for you. Who wins more, Bobby in the Asmaniac tournament or the Jets this season? Who gets more wins? Oh, that's a good prop bet.
All right, let me think about this. So
you can get 6 in the tournament if you're the champion.
I don't know if Bobby's going to win it. But I think he's at least going to win a couple rounds, right?
You make the final 4, that's 4.
It's probably going to be a draw. It's probably dead even. Wow. Ted, look at Ted stirring the pot immediately. Bobby, one and done.
Oh, Ted. I can't wait for the next time Ted calls into Bobby's show. That's going to be fun. Bobby punching the air right now.
Man. Ted's been stirring that pot hard.
He's perfected it. He's very good.
It's a good question. I mean, I could see Bobby winning it all. I mean, what if he matches up with his brother at some point? I don't know. There's a lot of momentum now. Mikey's like the UConn in 2011. Like they weren't great. Then the Big East tournament happened. They got hot at the right time. It carried over. This is like we're like in the Big East tournament right now. Mikey's on a little run before the actual
Mikey
tournament.
is Baby Shaq with George Mason. Remember George Mason knocked off North Carolina and went to the Final Four years ago?
Yeah.
Mikey is Baby Shaq. He's unstoppable. He might be 5'3", but he is a force. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on, bro. Glad we could clarify that for people trying to. If anyone's going to talk shit about Bob, it's going to be me.
Yes.
Later, buddy.
Nick Shine of The Nick Shine Show. If you didn't tell, he's Nick Shine, host of The Nick Shine Show. Nate says, please end your show so Bobby goes live ASAP with Mikey. Nate, for $2, you're going to have to pay me at least $5 to end the show. Come on. Are you out of your mind? $2? It's not even a subway ride in this town. But I do have the closer on the line right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Jake, we were supposed to get snow today, and we're just getting nothing but rain here.
Are you able to even shovel the snow, Chiefs fan? How's the back?
It's I'm happy it's rain, so I don't have to go out there and clear out my path. 1 month till free agency. I don't know if you guys will get I don't know if you guys are gonna sign someone, but hopefully you don't sign like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. How about we trade for Mahomes?
No.
We'll give you Tyrod Taylor and a first-round pick.
No, you can have Carson Wentz.
I'm okay on that.
I think Wentz could even get you guys. I think Wentz could easily get you guys 9 wins, but I doubt you guys go with that.
Mike says, "Damn, Chiefs fan is really white. My God, you need some sun."
I've always been this pale, even when I go out in the sun. I've always been this pale.
Rich writes in, the hood could never pull Chiefs fans' credentials.
Basically, yeah. I just don't know what I read multiple articles on why they let Rodgers go. I'm like, let the man be on Pat McAfee. Come on now. It gives I understand that they don't like that, but it also brings more people to see the Jets situation. It could make more Jets fans.
Now, do you think if let's say Rodgers retires or he's not on McAfee this season, do you think if McAfee reached out to you, you would be willing to go on for a weekly appearance?
I would go on and talk. I would definitely I'm a big fan of McAfee. I watched the Royal Rumble with him being at the Royal Rumble.
I think it'd be fascinating to see you two interact. I feel like he would have some interesting questions for you.
Yeah. All I know is they just messed up. I'm like, seriously, this is the reason why you're letting Rodgers go. I mean, 50-50 with keeping him, but the more I look into it, I know he could be good or could be washed, but you can't tell a friend not him and McAfee are like this, and you tell him he can't be on the show. That's like telling Bobby you can't see Mikey anymore.
Right, exact same thing.
Basically.
Yep.
Which is utter bullshit. Sorry for the language.
Now, Chiefs fan, if Pat McAfee asked you the story about you discovering your dead neighbor, do you think you'd be able to tell it?
Probably so. I honestly, that was a wild night. Nothing really bad happened on the Super Bowl that night, other than a few getting the text that my friend went to the ER because he wasn't watching his blood sugar levels at the weight loss program. I never expect us to get our ass kicked that bad, but technically, I was talking to people last night, and didn't the Jets beat the Eagles this year? Or was that last year?
Did the Jets beat the Eagles? Last year they did.
Yeah, last year. Okay. So technically, since you beat the Eagles and the Eagles beat us, people are joking that the Jets are a better franchise than the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue with that logic.
I'm like, I could see it. I don't know about your backup, Jordan Davis, or whatever the hell he's called, Travis. I don't think that's a good move.
Bonesy wants to know, have you ever buried anyone?
No, Bonesy. No.
Thunderlip says, stop eating 4 cans of soup and you'll drop weight.
Oh, I usually drop weight. The reason why I had a bunch of soup yesterday is because I have soup that was going bad next month. But by expiration, that's why I had a bunch of soup.
I see.
I don't want it to go bad. I usually don't mess with anything past the expiration date. Milk, eggs, all that. They just get tossed. So, do you guys know who you're going to get as quarterback? Or have any clue other than Tyrod?
Someone that probably is a journeyman, realistically. I mean, those
So
are the options.
basically, hold on, let me X out of this. So that notification keeps on going on. So a journeyman, something like Carson Wentz, Jameis Wilson,
Yes,
Justin
Jameis Wilson.
Fields. Yeah. Well, the only issue I have with Jameis Wilson is he's an intercepting machine. He's getting better over the years for it. But I'm like I don't
Who's Jameis Wilson?
My bad. The quarterback that you interviewed at the thing. My bad. Jameis. The one that you interviewed.
Right,
My bad.
Jameis Wilson?
Yeah, my bad. I can't. I was up late last night, my bad. The one that you interviewed at New Orleans.
It's not coming back to me. I'm not familiar.
The one that you were at New Orleans, you
what
asked
team-
if he was.
What team did he play for?
The Browns.
Deshaun Watson?
No, fuck no, not him. Sorry
Joe
for
Flacco?
No. Oh no.
Tim Couch?
No. Jake, come on now. You know, you were at New Orleans. You asked him if he wanted to go to the Jets.
Oh, Jameis Winston.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't pronounce shit most of the time, especially these days. They got me on a new, stronger dose of sleeping med to help with my back pain.
How bad is this pain, Cheats fan?
It's not as bad as it was. It's only bad. It's not as bad as it was, but we've been having a really bad cold winter where I'm at.
I see.
And you know when the cold makes everything 20 times worse.
Have you ever had a back massage?
Yeah. The first time when I injured my back, my friend took me to some specialists, and they're like, they gave me a recommendation to go to this Asian clinic. You know, when they stick a whole bunch of pins in your backs to release the joints and all that. I had that done at a young age. That's probably what I need. Like I had that done in my 20s. I probably need that in my 30s now.
Maybe your mattress isn't suited for your back. Maybe you need to upgrade that.
Oh yeah, that I definitely need a new one. I'm just waiting for the sale to go on. I was supposed to go during the President's Day sale, but I was not able to go and get one this month. I was supposed to go during the Martin Luther King Day sale. Like they have those up north, and I would have had my friend to ship it down to me.
I see.
But yeah. I just want free agency to get here, and I know it's and then the draft because
how about the combine before any of that?
Yeah, the combine is gonna be good, but like after the free agency, the combine, the draft, we're just like dead in the water for a few months.
When was the last time you ran the 40?
I haven't done. Last time I was skinny enough to do that, I was in my late teens.
What do you mean skinny enough? You just run. The offensive linemen run the 40. They're fat.
Okay. True. All I know is I wish I took more instance in track. I would probably be more skinnier.
Are you going to participate in the Asmaniac Combine?
What's that?
You have to send video of you running the 40, you doing the long jump, and then you doing the jump as high as you can.
I can try. I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
You just have to put your phone like up against like,
Okay.
something that
I can try.
Put the selfie mode on and just record it.
I can try. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night because I was up handling a few things. My friend needed help getting in contact with PayPal for a refund, so I was letting him know, and then he made the call this morning.
How did you help him with that?
He has
Mr. Pal himself?
No, he has severe autism, so he doesn't know how to speak to people.
So you were his liaison. You called on his behalf.
Yeah. Well, no, I gave him how to call because I can't call on his behalf. He's overseas, so I can't call on his behalf. He has to call the UK branch.
I see.
Yeah. He was gonna let it go. I'm like, oh, this scanned me out of 20 pounds, aka $28. I'm like, hell no.
No. Can't allow
No,
it.
don't allow that shit.
Party with Peg and Artie says, I think I see DNA on that couch.
Good one. Very good one. Jake, all I know is this is I'm just ready. Like that Super Bowl blowout wasn't nice, but I just want things to get back done faster. There's a little bit of like knowing how the teams are gonna build around. I do have a question for you, Jake.
Yes, sir.
Free agency, right? You go like there's a period from March into April, and it stops, and then it goes back during the different time. Like, do you know how much cap space the Jets have if they let Adams and Rodgers go, and they split the hit for 2 years?
They could divide it up over 2 if they want. It's like 14 million the first year and like 36 the second year if it's his
For
current
both of them,
contract.
or just for Rodgers?
Or just Rodgers. Adams they save like 30 million.
Jeez. So they would probably want to. Can't they do Adams in 2 years or no?
Adams they can't. It's just all in 1 year.
So they're going to be out of like 40 something million this year.
Yeah, I mean they'll save money with Devontae. They'll take a dead cap with Aaron.
That sucks. That means if Rodgers signs with someone, he has to sign for a veteran minimum, but I doubt he would. Like I was looking through who's gonna go who, where, and so many different outlets. You look at one news outlet and then it pops up more on your phone because the AI generation or whatever the hell it is. I read I decided like, okay, why would Kirk Cousins go to the Jets? And I read one, and then there's 4 different things about Kirk Cousins going to different teams, and I'm like, I don't think anyone should have him as a starter. Like, he's not mobile enough. Achilles injury, all that other stuff. I just don't think Cousins is good enough. But if you guys roll with Tyrod, I think you're gonna be drunk before. If you guys roll with Tyrod, I think you're gonna be drunk before you start your show, Jake. Because he's basically like injury prone. Like most of these running backs can be injury prone these days. I want you guys to have more than 6 wins, but I just don't know what they're doing mentally.
Do you
Like
smell the 4 wins, Chiefs fan? Do you smell it?
I hate to say, but I smell it. Like even though Rodgers was like mid last year, but still did decent, he still would have got you to 8 or 9 wins. Now, if you guys get Kirk Cousins, that's a 4-win season right there. But if you get Kirk Cousins and have a winning season, I'll eat my words. I just don't see a winning season with Tyrod. And for all of the people who want you to draft a quarterback this year, I don't think it's worth it. No, like you're taking a reach at 7. It's Cam Howard and Deion Sanders kid. Then after that, who's there really? Sam Howell or whatever the hell his name is. I just don't know about this year's QB draft other than the Cam Ward. Everyone else is like, because honestly, I don't think Sanders' boy is going to do good in this league.
Nick Down writes in, what are we listening to?
My bad. I'm just rambling.
Bonesy writes in, Cheats fan, are you single? I'm trying to set my sister up with someone on your level of ghetto swag. I need a real gangster.
I am single, but I'm not interested in any relationship at the moment until I get this back and everything else situated. A lot of people say I should be in a relationship. I'm like, I'm much more happier not having to spend as much money. I'm much more happy not having to like work my schedule around, like when I'm helping my friends to get their stuff done. Like my friends don't know how to do their taxes, so I send them the information that they should do. Like my family members still own tax offices, even though I don't speak to them. I would send my friends to their tax office, or I would teach them how to use TurboTax, because that's the only thing I know how to use is TurboTax, because I used that when I used to
Tom A says self-love is the way to go, Cheats fan.
Yes, it is.
Do you love yourself?
Oh, most definitely. Like last night, I was supposed to have a snack for dinner, but I just decided Triscuits and cheese wasn't going to cut it since I had a big thing of soup. So I just did bacon and eggs. And I know a lot of people might not like this. Like, I need to lose weight, but like you fry the bread up. You fry the bread up in the bacon grease. You ever do that, Jake?
Mac writes in, who are these people that said you should be in a relationship?
My friends, they say I should be in a relationship, but I'll be more happy. They just didn't know how I explained the last relationship. Like, oh, you'll still be happy. I'm like, I told them, the last relationship burnt me so damn much that I just don't want to put that stress on myself ever again for a while.
Nick Shine says, I can't believe somebody with hands that chafed is single. Chapped?
Yeah. I mean, one day I'll be in a relationship. Right now, I'm just trying to get. No. I've been actually staying away from butter. The only thing I add butter to is my garlic bread, or when I'm cooking a steak, or I'm making pan-cooked chicken. I just use a little bit of butter over the oil because the butter makes it brown better.
I see.
Well,
fan, let me tell you.
Yeah.
We're gonna find you a woman, all right? A woman of your dreams.
True. What I also do with the butter is, like, if I'm making rice, I'll just put a little slab of butter and let that melt into the rice, and toss a little bit of cinnamon on top, because that's how I used to eat my rice.
Nate wants to know, have you ever done blind dating where you exclusively go on dates with blind women?
No, I'm good on that. Like, no offense to the blind woman, I just don't like. I feel like people take advantage of them way too much.
Blind people?
Yes, blind people in general. Like, there was cartoons back in the day where they would make fun of blind people and make them do stupid shit. And I'm like, oh man, this is screwed up.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cheats fan, we covered a lot of ground today, so thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Peace.
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Join the Patreon if you haven't. For just $5 a month, less than a cup of coffee, less than a super chat many of you send. You get all the perks like Discord access, bonus shows, your name in the intro, 20% off merch items, and a whole lot more. Thank you to Mark Ferrero, JoJo, Wisteria Hysteria, Cheats fan, Jet Fuel 27, Thomas Rossi, and Ed Carco for being our most recent Patreon subscribers. It's easy to join. Just click the link in my description and sign up and support the show. Best way to do it is to join the Patreon. All right, we're back this afternoon. We got a lot still to break down. You all are incredible. What a show. What a time to be alive. Jets football. You could just feel the magic. There's magic in the air. Like that time Cheats fan told us he discovered his dead neighbor. True story. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is none other than Chiefs fan. Hello, Chiefs fan.
Yo, last night I was outside talking and I walked over and checked on my neighbor, and I found out my neighbor passed away in his lawn chair. So
this call was not going where I thought it was going.
Well, the old man had bladder problems. Let's just say that he was 90s. He didn't take his medication, and he was going to smoke a cigar with me, but he wasn't there.
Is it a real story?
This is a real story.
And he passed away on his lawn chair in the middle of the Super Bowl.
Walked inside of his house, checked on his dog, poured a shot of vodka, and I'm like, this isn't going to be enough. Chugged about 1/4 of the vodka that we usually drink. I'm like, the old man had to die during the big game. But yeah, I was happy we won.
Yeah. Hey, Chiefs fan, congrats on the Super Bowl win, man. I don't know what to say. I figured
this was going to be a celebratory call for the great Chiefs fan, and it was not that.
I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.